Chapter 1996. Feng Wuchen, come out and accept your death. Lu Ming shouted again, his voice shaking the entire base. Lu Ming, how dare you break the gate of my Wind tribe for no reason? No matter what, you have to give us an explanation today. A Wind tribe quasi-emperor shouted coldly. Explanation? Bullshit. Scram. Lu Ming swept his gaze over and directly told the other party to scram, not giving him any face. The people of the other factions all had different expressions as they were secretly shocked. The Wind tribe was an ancient race that had existed since ancient times. They had a deep foundation and were incomparably powerful. However, Lu Ming did not give them any face and directly told them to scram. Boundlessly arrogant. I'll cripple you. A quasi-emperor roared. His figure turned into a gust of wind as he charged at Lu Ming. With a wave of his hand, countless sharp wind blades flew out and attacked Lu Ming. Boom! Lu Ming did not even look at the quasi-emperor as he directly punched out. The void trembled as the wind blades were sent flying by Lu Ming's violent fist energy and landed on the quasi-emperor's body. The quasi-emperor of the Wind tribe shrieked miserably as his body flew back and crashed into the wall of the Wind tribe's palace. He lay on the ground half dead. Everyone was secretly shocked. Lu Ming's combat strength was simply terrifying. He had severely injured a quasi-emperor with one punch without even looking. Where's Feng Wuchen? Did he become a coward? Get him out here. Lu Ming stepped forward, and the experts of the Wind tribe involuntarily took a few steps back. Lu Ming, how dare you come to my Wind tribe and break our gate? You even injured my people. What are you trying to do? A cold voice rang out as Feng Wuchen walked out of the Wind tribe's palace. He looked at Lu Ming with an unsightly expression. He had not expected Lu Ming to be so bold as to kill his way into the Wind tribe's base. I'm here to kill you. Lu Ming continued to step forward. He was very direct and could not be bothered to talk nonsense with Feng Wuchen. Back in the Lotus world, Autumn Moon's injury had something to do with Feng Wuchen. At that time, Feng Wuchen and the experts of the Feng clan joined forces with the people of the Daluo Heaven sect to injure Qiu Moon. Now, Feng Wuchen had gone from bad to worse. Not only did he deliberately make things difficult for them, but he also lured in the three-eyed divine tribe to kill them. Lu Ming's killing intent towards Feng Wuchen had reached its peak. He could no longer tolerate it. He had to kill Feng Wuchen today. Feng Wuchen's expression changed, and he couldn't help but take a few steps back. He retreated behind the experts of the Wind clan and shouted, Lu Ming, I didn't expect you to be so narrow-minded. When you wanted to exchange for resources and treasures, I told you that I didn't have enough and asked you to come back later. Now you hate me and want to kill me. Now is the time when we are united against the enemy, but you want to kill me and cause internal strife. I really suspect that you have already defected to the foreign tribe. Feng Wuchen directly put a label on Lu Ming. He said that Lu Ming was narrow-minded and even said that Lu Ming had defected to the foreign tribe. Huang Ling, Lu Xiang, and the others were so angry that their faces turned green. They had seen shameless people, but they had never seen someone so shameless. Nonsense. You clearly hate my master and us. On the battlefield, you deliberately lured the foreign tribe to kill us. You want to kill us with a borrowed knife. Now you are slandering us. Lu Xiang shouted unhappily. Many people's eyes flickered, and they thought to themselves, I see. Those who could cultivate to this level were all smart people. Previously, when Feng Wuchen had put a label on them, no one believed him. Instead, Lu Xiang's words made more people believe him. No wonder Lu Ming's killing intent was so strong and he directly killed his way to the Feng tribe's base. It turned out that Feng Wuchen wanted to kill them with a borrowed knife. He deliberately lured the foreign tribe to Lu Ming and the others. How despicable! Many people thought, but no one stood out. The Feng tribe was an ancient tribe and was very powerful. Who would dare to offend them? There were also some people who were gloating, such as the Golden Crow tribe and the Wan family. The conflict between Lu Ming and the Feng tribe intensified, and they were even happier that they killed each other. They hoped that the Feng tribe would kill Lu Ming. Little girl, you're talking nonsense. You're full of nonsense. It's your master who told you to slander me, right? You have to have proof before you speak. Feng Wuchen sneered. That's clearly the case. We can all testify. Lu Xiangxiang said. Testify? What a joke. It's more like you all are working together to slander me. Feng Wuchen sneered. You? Lu Xiangxiang was so angry that her face turned red. Bam. At this moment, Lu Ming suddenly took another step forward and said, Xiangxiang, why are you talking so much nonsense with this kind of person? Just kill him. Swoosh. Then, Lu Ming suddenly sped up and rushed toward Feng Wuchen. How dare you? Take him down together. The many boundary emperors of the Feng tribe were furious. In an instant, at least 10 boundary emperors attacked Lu Ming. Get lost. Lu Ming shouted. The light of chaos shrouded his body as he used the chaotic calamity finger 10 times in a row. Bam, bam. A series of collisions sounded. The attacks of the 10 boundary emperors were broken. Their bodies trembled violently as they retreated. There was a bloody hole in their bodies and blood flowed out. Hiss! Many people gasped in shock. 10 boundary emperors working together were no match for Lu Ming. They were instantly injured by Lu Ming. This kind of combat power was too shocking. Feng Wuchen, you must die today. Lu Ming took another step forward. Feng Wuchen's face turned pale, and he couldn't help but retreat. Enough! At this moment, a cold voice sounded. A figure walked out of the Feng tribe's palace, and a vast aura spread out. Emperor's aura. This was a martial emperor. Feng Wuchen was overjoyed. Lu Ming couldn't do anything to a martial emperor. Elder, Lu Ming is lawless. Not only did he break the door of the Feng tribe, but he also injured the elites of the Feng tribe. Quickly kill him. Feng Wuchen shouted. Lu Ming looked at the Feng tribe's martial emperor and said calmly, As a martial emperor, I dare you to attack me. His words made the Feng tribe's martial emperor frown. The people of the other forces were also shocked. They thought of Uncle Kong a few years ago. There was an extremely powerful figure behind Lu Ming. With Lu Ming's current cultivation, Uncle Kong probably wouldn't say anything if a boundary emperor attacked. However, if a martial emperor attacked, would Uncle Kong make a trip to the Feng tribe? Lu Ming, don't push your luck. You'll break easily if you're too hard. I'll forget about what happened today. The Feng tribe's martial emperor said. Many people's eyes flashed. The Feng tribe's martial emperor's words were equivalent to giving in. Feng Wuchen's eyes flashed with unwillingness. Today, he had a good reason to kill Lu Ming. However, Lu Ming clearly didn't appreciate it. You can let this matter rest, but I didn't say so. Feng Wuchen deliberately led the foreign races to kill us. He must die. Lu Ming's voice was cold, and the killing intent on his body intensified, causing the temperature to drop. Lu Ming, you're going overboard. Don't think that you can be lawless with an old man backing you. My Feng tribe doesn't fear you. Chapter 1997. Lu Ming sneered. Fearless? If he was really fearless, he wouldn't have wasted so much time talking to Feng Wuchen. He would have slapped him to death. Kill! Lu Ming let out a long howl and launched an attack. His figure suddenly charged toward Feng Wuchen. Many people sighed. Lu Ming was still the same Lu Ming, the Lu Ming who had stirred up the storm in the ancient moon sacred ground. He was still so daring to kill the Feng clan's king body Feng Wuchen in front of the Wind clan's martial emperor. How dare you! The Wind clan's martial emperor shouted and pressed down with one hand. A powerful aura acted on Lu Ming's body. In an instant, the surrounding air seemed to have solidified. Lu Ming felt as if hundreds of mountains were pressing down on him. His body suddenly stopped moving. Bubble, let's attack together. Lu Ming transmitted his voice to Bubble. Bubble had been sitting on Lu Ming's shoulder. At this moment, her face was red. Space-time light spread out and her small hand slashed forward like a knife. Zzz. The space fluctuated violently as if it was about to split open. The Wind clan's martial emperor's power on Lu Ming was also torn apart. Break! Lu Ming shouted. The light of primal chaos erupted as he pointed with his finger. The primal chaos energy surged. The power of the primal chaos tribulation finger gathered at one point and merged with Bubble's power. Boom. That space surged, and a tear appeared in the martial emperor's energy. Not good. The Wind Clan's martial emperor's face changed. But in the next moment, Lu Ming's figure disappeared. He broke through the martial emperor's power and suddenly appeared in front of Feng Wuchen. He grabbed at Feng Wuchen. Feng Wuchen originally thought that with the martial emperor present, he would be safe. He never expected that Lu Ming could break through the martial emperor's power and suddenly appear in front of him. He wanted to retreat, but it was too late. Lu Ming grabbed Feng Wuchen's neck. Violent energy surged in and sealed Feng Wuchen's cultivation. Bam! Lu Ming grabbed Feng Wuchen and slammed him onto the ground. The ground rumbled. The floor of the Feng clan's palace was made of hard black gold, but it cracked. Feng Wuchen's entire body was embedded in the black gold. He coughed up large mouthfuls of blood, his body twitched, and his eyes turned white like a dead fish. The people from the other forces were all dumbfounded and shocked. Firstly, they were shocked that Lu Ming was able to break through the barrier of martial emperor's strength. Ordinary cultivators below martial emperor would find it hard to move under the suppression of a martial emperor. Secondly, they were shocked that Lu Ming had really kept his word. He had seriously injured Feng Wuchen in the Wind Clan's palace before the Wind Clan's martial emperor. It looked like he really wanted to kill Feng Wuchen. A true fiend. Lu Xiang and the others felt their blood boil as they watched. I advise you to let Feng Wuchen go. The Wind Clan's martial emperor's face was extremely gloomy. A terrifying killing intent was brewing in his heart. Lu Ming was actually able to defeat Feng Wuchen despite the obstruction of his power. This made him lose all his face. Moreover, Feng Wuchen couldn't die. He had a peerless monarch physique and his future was unpredictable. He had the potential to become a martial emperor. Although the Wind Clan was an ancient clan with a deep foundation and shocking strength, they didn't have a martial emperor. A martial emperor was too important to a force. Let him go and let him take revenge on me? I won't give him a second chance. Lu Ming's eyes were cold as he stepped on Feng Wuchen's face. Feng Wuchen's body twitched again. If you kill him, your friends will also die. Several more voices came from the Wind Clan's palace. Each of them exuded a terrifying aura. Martial emperors, they were all martial emperors. One of them had a vast and unfathomable aura. Divine light surrounded him. It was a true emperor. It looked like the Wind Clan was no longer calm. Martial emperors had appeared one after another. The one who spoke earlier was a true emperor. His sharp eyes looked at Xiang and the others. A great true emperor wants to use a few juniors to threaten me? How laughable! Lu Ming's expression darkened. Let Feng Wuchen go or none of you will be able to leave. I know you have an old clan behind you, but that won't scare my Wind Clan. The true emperor coldly spoke. His powerful aura enveloped the group. He only needed a thought to kill them all with Xiang. Master, don't worry about us, just kill that guy. Xiang shouted. Shut up. The true emperor shouted and raised his hand. A large hand reached for Xiang. Suddenly, space in front of Xiang cracked. A cane flew out and destroyed the hand. Next, the staff grew to the size of a towering tree and slammed down on the wind true emperor. Uncle Kong. Lu Ming's heart stirred. He naturally recognized that this walking stick belonged to Uncle Kong. It's Grandpa Kong. Xiang cried out. The true emperor's expression changed. He could feel a terrifying pressure coming from the cane. He let out a long roar. World time erupted, blasting out with the power of the world. Endless wind howled, sweeping towards the walking stick. However, the wind was dispersed and the cane struck the true emperor, sending him flying 100 miles away. He turned pale and vomited blood. Everyone was shocked. One move was enough to injure a true emperor. It's that guy from Grand Development Hall. His power is unfathomable. The experts of the other forces in the ancient moon holy ground discussed in shock. The Wan clan and Celestial Wolf Pagoda had ugly expressions. After all, Uncle Kong killed 2 of their true emperors back then. Several years ago, I told the seniors not to interfere with the matters of the younger generation, especially since they're only a bunch of saints. You Void Emperors and even true emperors want to fight, so don't blame me for bullying the weak. Uncle Kong's voice came from the cane. Senior, it's better to squash enmity than keep it alive. Feng Wuchen has also suffered. Tell Lu Ming to let him go and the Wind Clan won't interfere. What do you think? The true emperor cupped his fist and said, I won't interfere with the matters of the younger generation. Let them decide whether to kill them or not. You emperors shouldn't interfere either. Uncle Kong said, Senior, you're saying that you must interfere. Starting a war with the Wind Clan won't do you any good. The true emperor coldly said, I'd like to see how you'll do that to me. Uncle Kong said. The martial emperors from the Wind Clan had ugly expressions. It was clear that Uncle Kong was going to interfere. Send a message to the patriarch. The true emperor messaged a Void Emperor of the Wind Clan. The Void Emperor nodded and secretly sent a message. Lu Ming, do what you want, no need to worry. Uncle Kong's voice came from the cane. The Wind Clan's experts were aghast. Stop! Everyone from the Wind Clan roared. No! Chapter 1998. Now you're afraid. You should have thought of this when you lured the three-eyed divine race to us. Lu Ming said coldly. His murderous intent towards Feng Wuchen was unparalleled. His sacred power condensed into a spear and pierced Feng Wuchen's head. Pluff! The spear pierced Feng Wuchen's head and nailed him to the ground. Feng Wuchen struggled for a bit before losing all signs of life. An unparalleled king physique had died just like that. He had been killed by Lu Ming in front of everyone in the Feng clan's palace, in front of countless Feng clan powerhouses. You court death. The true emperor of the Wind Clan roared and unleashed his world power towards Lu Ming. Feng Wuchen was the hope of the Wind Clan. Now that he was dead, he had to kill Lu Ming. Looks like you want to die. Uncle Kong's voice came from the walking stick. Clang! Next, a sword was unsheathed. Its hymn echoed across the firmament. Everyone only saw a flash of sword light before the true emperor of the Wind Clan froze in the air. All signs of life disappeared without a trace. Next, a bloody mark appeared on the forehead of the true emperor of the Wind Clan. His body was split in half. Gulp! Many swallowed their saliva, shaken to the core. A true emperor was killed just like that. Just like a few years ago. You've gone too far. At this moment, a furious roar came from the distance. Then, a terrifying whistling sound echoed in the sky. In the distance, an endless gust of wind was blowing towards them, covering the entire ancient moon holy ground and enveloping the entire place. Many people felt that it was the end of the world. It was as if the world was about to collapse. The gales were like countless divine weapons. Space was cut apart like tofu, revealing ferocious spatial cracks. Amidst the endless wind, there was a tall and majestic figure. It was as if he was standing between the heavens and the earth, as if a demon god had appeared. A terrifying pressure pressed down on everyone, making it hard to breathe. Clan Master! The Clan Master is here, they're dead for sure. The experts of the Wind Clan rejoiced. It's the Wind Clan Master. Peak True Emperor. Some true emperors from the other powers spoke with a serious tone. That's right. Peak True Emperor. Many people gasped. The Wind True Emperor killed earlier was a one-star True Emperor who had just become a True Emperor not long ago. The Wind Patriarch was a 7-star True Emperor. The difference in strength between the two was unfathomable. It seemed that the Wind Clan was enraged, and the clan leader had personally taken action. That brat Lu Ming is dead for sure. That old man from the Great Pill Development Palace is also dead for sure. The Golden Crow clan, the Wan family, and the other forces were overjoyed. Lu Ming, Uncle Kong, weren't you arrogant? Now you've kicked an iron plate. Who else but a Grand Emperor could compete with a Peak True Emperor? They didn't believe that Uncle Kong was so strong. Today, I'll have you all be buried with dustless. Amidst the endless gales, a cold and emotionless voice rang out as the gales swept towards Uncle Kong and Lu Ming. Clang. The sound of a sword being unsheathed came about again. A sword ray shot out, splitting the sky into two halves. It was truly cleaved into two halves. The entire sky was cleaved apart, revealing a terrifying dark void. The wind brought by the Wind Clan's leader was like a weak candle flame, disappearing without a trace. Then, everyone heard a miserable shriek as a figure frantically retreated. Drops of blood fell from the sky. In the distance, a middle-aged man wearing a green robe appeared. His face was pale and his eyes were filled with disbelief. This was the Wind Patriarch. Everyone was shocked. The Wind Clan master was wounded. This was a peak true emperor, an overlord of an ancient clan. How could someone like him be wounded by a single slash? His blood splashed across the sky. This was too shocking. More importantly, the other party didn't even appear. He was just controlling a sword from afar, and yet he was already able to wield such fearsome might. It left one's heart trembling, and it was difficult for one to calm down. A Grand Emperor? Is he a Grand Emperor? Someone spoke with great difficulty, his voice carrying shock and disbelief. Controlling a sword from such a distance and causing a peak true emperor to bleed? Who else but a Grand Emperor could do this? A Grand Emperor. The ancient moon's sacred ground was hiding a Grand Emperor. The old man from the Grand Development Pill Hall was a Grand Emperor. Everyone shuddered at this thought. A peak true emperor was only one step away from a Grand Emperor. However, this step was the difference between heaven and earth. It was difficult to cross. This was especially true for the Golden Crow tribe, Wan Clan, Skywolf Pagoda, and other powers that had a grudge against Lu Ming. Their expressions were ugly and filled with worry. Uncle Kong, is this strong? Even Lu Ming's group was astonished. Since you've had a hard time cultivating, I'll spare you this time. If there's a next time, I'll kill you. Uncle Kong's voice came from the cane again. It was filled with a murderous aura. The Wind Patriarch's expression was ugly with a hint of fear. He gritted his teeth and cupped his fists. Senior, there's something I must clarify today. Speak. Uncle Kong's voice came again. The Wind Clan can let bygones be bygones. The Wind Patriarch said. These words made many people's hearts tremble. It was obvious that the Wind Clan had taken a step back. In other words, Feng Wuchen's death today was in vain. However, everyone could understand that a Grand Emperor was standing behind Lu Ming. What could they do? Courting death? The other members of the Wind Clan were unwilling and humiliated. However, they could only endure the humiliation. The Wind Clan has only yourselves to blame and you still want to pursue the matter? Continue. Uncle Kong's indifferent voice sounded. Senior, the Wind Clan can let this matter rest this time. However, if Lu Ming relies on your support and kills the people of the Wind Clan on sight, or even invades the Wind Clan will definitely retaliate. If he wants to kill the martial emperors of the Wind Clan with a saber, the martial emperors of the Wind Clan will not stand there and let him kill them. In that case, even if Lu Ming has your support, the Wind Clan will not hesitate to fight. Senior, even if you can kill me, the Wind Clan will scatter and hide. You won't be able to kill all of us. Senior, you can't protect these juniors forever. The clan leader of the Feng clan said, his voice filled with determination. If Lu Ming wantonly killed their people, the Wind Clan would not hesitate to fight. Uncle Kong could protect Lu Ming and Xiang for a while, but could he protect them forever? Unless they did not go out. The clan leader of the Feng clan had no choice. He was really afraid that Lu Ming would kill the people of the Feng clan without any scruples just because he had the backing of a great emperor. If that was the case, they would rather fight to the death. Senior, the Golden Crow clan also means the same. We can't allow ourselves to be killed and not fight back. Chapter 1999. The Wan clan has the same intention. The Heavenly Wolf Pagoda. Following this, true emperors from the Wan clan, Heavenly Wolf Pagoda, Violet Extreme Sect and other factions that had a grudge against Lu Ming stepped forward to express their intentions. They would not allow themselves to be killed by Lu Ming. If that was the case, they would rather fight. This old man has already said it in the past, but it seems like you did not understand. Today, this old man will say it again. Lu Ming is now in the Sage Realm. If anyone below the Martial Emperor realm wants to fight him, this old man will not interfere. If you can kill him, it's your own strength. If he achieves the martial emperor realm and becomes an illusionary emperor, then all of you can fight him. If he can't defeat you, then it's his own fault. Similarly, if he achieves the true emperor realm, then all of you can fight him. This old man will not interfere. Uncle Kong's voice resounded. The eyes of the people from the Wind Clan, Golden Crow Clan, and other factions flickered. Currently, those below the martial emperor realm could not fight Lu Ming. Almost no one was a match for him. However, as long as Lu Ming broke through to the illusionary emperor realm, all of the illusionary emperors would be able to fight him. The Void Emperor was divided into 1 star to 7 stars. The difference between 1 star and 7 stars of battle prowess was like heaven and earth. As long as Lu Ming broke through to the illusionary emperor realm, it would be their chance. Alright, there are so many people here today. I hope Senior will keep his promise. The Wind Clan leader said with a cold, murderous intent in his eyes. With Lu Ming's talent, it was almost certain that he would achieve the martial emperor realm. As long as Lu Ming broke through to the illusionary emperor realm, he would eliminate Lu Ming at all costs. This old man will keep his promise. Get lost. Uncle Kong's voice resounded. Then, with a shake of his walking stick, he disappeared without a trace. The clan leader of the Feng clan cast a cold glance at Lu Ming before he turned around and left. Let's go, Lu Ming said. Then he left with Xiang and the others towards the peak of the mountain. They wanted to exchange their spoils of war for resources. He was clear in his heart that the reason why Uncle Kong set such a rule was to train him. After he broke through to the empty emperor realm, all the empty emperors of the other party would be able to attack him. To him, this was indeed a great pressure, but it had the effect of tempering himself. Of course, if an emperor were to take action, it wouldn't be training, it would be crushing. Such a condition gave the Wind Tribe and the Golden Crow Tribe hope to kill Lu Ming. The other side naturally agreed. Otherwise, as the other side had said, they wouldn't hesitate to fight to the death. All of this was naturally built on the terrifying combat strength of Uncle Kong. Only a powerful deterrence could make the other party yield. Lu Ming and the others came to the place where they could exchange for treasures and resources. This time, no one made things difficult for them. They exchanged the third eye of the three-eyed divine race for all sorts of useful treasures. Lu Ming mainly focused on sacred medicines and origin stones. Within the mountain river diagram in the Phoenix Palace's encampment, Lu Ming continuously threw sacred medicines into the Great Development Cauldron. He controlled the cauldron's fire to refine the sacred medicines. The medicinal energy of the sacred medicines seeped into Autumn Moon's body. Autumn Moon quietly floated within the Great Development Cauldron. Her face was rosy and she looked normal on the outside. However, she didn't wake up for a long time. Now that the foreign tribes are invading, I don't know where Wuxia Tower is. Autumn Moon, once the foreign tribes are defeated, I will definitely find Wuxia Tower and find a way to save you. Lu Ming whispered. Then he closed the cauldron's lid and kept the cauldron in his sea of consciousness. Next, Lu Ming took a step forward and arrived at another mountain peak. Heavenly Emperor Heng Yu's physical body stood on this mountain peak and continuously absorbed the energy from the outside world. However, the energy stored in the Heavenly Emperor's physical body was less than 1%. The Heavenly Emperor's physical body was like a huge water tank. The energy was like water. It was too difficult to fill this tank with water. After such a long time, Lu Ming had used more than 1 million high-grade origin stones, but it was still less than 1%. God knows how long it would take to reach 100%. However, this was the physical body left behind by the Heavenly Emperor. Even if only 10% of the energy was stored, the power would be shocking if it exploded. At this moment, Lu Ming took out a pile of storage bracelets. They were all storage bracelets that he had obtained from the three-eyed divine tribe. Then he organized the items in these storage bracelets. Then, a pile of black crystals appeared on the ground. They were piled up like a mountain peak. It was unknown how many there were. These crystals were also a type of energy crystallization. They were very similar to origin stones. However, instead of origin chi, they were a type of strange energy. Martial artists could also absorb and refine them. However, the difficulty of refining them was much higher than origin qi. Lu Ming planned to refine the energy of these crystals into the Heavenly Emperor's physical body. Bam, bam. Lu Ming waved his hand and a large number of crystals exploded, turning into billowing energy that was absorbed by the Heavenly Emperor's physical body. In the next few days, Lu Ming did not fight. He focused on refining the crystals for the Heavenly Emperor's physical body. In 3 days, all the crystals were refined. The energy stored in the Heavenly Emperor's physical body finally broke through 1% and reached 1.5%. Lu Ming was delighted. He was getting closer to 10%. Back then, the Heavenly Emperor imprint had told him that he could only control the Heavenly Emperor's physical body when the stored energy was at 10%. Because the Heavenly Emperor's physical body was a stone man, it was now like a puppet. Without enough energy, it could not be activated. As long as the energy stored in the Heavenly Emperor's physical body reached 10%, the Heavenly Emperor's physical body would become Lu Ming's greatest trump card. In the following days, he continued to fight with the Three-Eyed Divine Tribe and train on the battlefield. He didn't know if it was because the Three-Eyed Divine Tribe divided into 8 groups, but the forces that came to the ancient Moon Holy Land were not strong. After more than half a month, the Three-Eyed Divine Tribe was gradually suppressed by the ancient Moon Holy Land and even retreated. Everyone was overjoyed. It seemed that the Three-Eyed Divine Tribe was not that difficult to deal with. At this time, a news spread throughout the land of Yuan Mountain. In the ancient capital of Yuan Mountain, Heavenly Fire Great Emperor, Chaotic Heaven Great Emperor, and Wuxia Great Emperor, the 3 great emperors announced to the world that they had gathered all the powerhouses in the land of Yuan Mountain to prepare for a full-scale counterattack. As soon as the news came out, the land of Yuan Mountain was shaken. Countless powerhouses gathered in the ancient capital of Yuan Mountain. When Lu Ming and the others heard the news, they were also overjoyed. These 3 great emperors were the 3 great emperors who founded the Yuan Mountain Holy Court. After the battle in Celestial City, there was no news of the 3 great emperors. Lu Ming and the others were worried that the 3 great emperors would be in trouble. Now, it seemed that they were fine. In the ancient Moon Holy Land, all the major forces sent their experts to the ancient capital of Yuan Mountain to meet with many powerhouses and launch a counterattack. Lu Ming and the others followed the powerhouses of Phoenix Palace and Divine Elephant Sect to the ancient capital of Yuan Mountain to participate in the battle. The ancient capital of Yuan Mountain was located in the north of the land of Yuan Mountain. Not long ago, this place was once the number 1 holy land in the land of Yuan Mountain. However, after the emergence of Celestial City, the number 1 throne was retired. Chapter 2000. Lu Ming and the others found a place to stay. 3 days later, clang, clang, clang. The majestic sound of the bell resounded throughout the primordial mountain ancient capital. The great emperors had gathered all the experts. In the primordial mountain ancient capital, countless powerhouses gathered towards the place where the bell rang. So many experts. Xiang looked up and looked around. Countless figures whizzed past. Some people's auras were particularly terrifying. Even if they did not deliberately release their auras, the faint emperor's aura could still be clearly felt. Martial emperors. So many martial emperors had formed an army of martial emperors. The number of emperor-level forces that were scattered outside the 9 great sacred lands gathered together was astonishing. Of course, the number of paragon saints and boundary emperors was the largest. It was extremely difficult to become an emperor. Since ancient times, countless martial artists had been stuck at the boundary emperor level, unable to break through. Therefore, at a glance, there were boundary emperors everywhere. Not long after, they arrived at an incomparably wide plaza. In the center of the square, there was a large bell that was constantly vibrating. Countless figures had gathered around the square. So many experts gathered together to launch an attack. It's really going to destroy the world. Lu Ming was also secretly shocked. Experts continued to arrive, and more people gathered around the square. Look, it's the ancient Sun Sacred Grounds Divine Origin Empire and the Purple Flame Villa's only sacred palace. Nearby, someone whispered. Lu Ming looked over and saw people from the three major forces of the ancient sun's sacred ground. Among the people of the Divine Origin Empire, Ouyang Wushuang also looked at Lu Ming and nodded with a smile. However, the strongest force of the ancient sun's sacred ground, the Daoyuo Heaven sect, did not send anyone. It's the people of the heavenly profound sacred ground and the dragon abyss sacred ground. One by one, the powerful forces of the sacred grounds arrived. Behind them, several ancient clans arrived. Lu Ming saw the ancient sacred clan. Among the ancient sacred clan's crowd, Xian Yanjuan's snow-white robe was very eye-catching. The ancient sacred clan was a very powerful ancient clan. There were strong and weak ancient clans. Some ancient clans were weaker, such as the Wind clan. Although the Wind clan was an ancient clan, they did not have a great emperor. As for the ancient sacred clans, it was said that they were led by great emperors. However, he didn't see a single person from the two famous heavenly emperor-level forces in Celestial City, the Hung family and the He family. The Hung family, the He family, and the Daoyuo Heaven sect, the three emperor-level forces, didn't send anyone. What's going on? Many people were disappointed. With the addition of the three martial monarch factions, their strength would be a lot stronger. Perhaps the three great factions will fight somewhere else. I'm just afraid that they'll hide and not fight. Many people guessed. At this moment, three figures suddenly appeared in the sky, and the whole place quieted down. The three great emperors had arrived. Lu Ming and the others had seen one of the elders before. It was Emperor Wu Xiang. As for the other two, one of them was a burly man in a fiery red robe. He should be the heavenly fire emperor. The other was an old man in a black robe. He was the chaotic heaven great emperor. With the appearance of the three great emperors, the entire place fell silent. I am Wu Xiang. This old man is heavenly fire. I'm Han Tian. The three martial monarchs spoke. Greetings, great emperor. Everyone bowed and paid their respects. As long as the heavenly emperors didn't appear, the great emperors were the pinnacle. They deserved everyone's respect. Thank you for coming. Next, we'll fight the enemy together. Emperor Wu Xiang said. We're willing to live and die together with the great emperor. Many people shouted. But before the battle, let me tell you about the origin of the foreign tribes. I'm afraid that many people here don't know the origin of the foreign tribes. Emperor Wu Xiang said. Many people shook their heads. During this period, they only knew that the foreign tribes came from another world. They were cruel and violent and killed anyone they saw. Everyone knows that the world we're in is called the Yuan realm. The world close to the Yuan realm is called the Heaven realm. The two worlds are twin worlds and can communicate with each other. However, the history of cultivation in the Heaven realm far exceeds that of the Yuan realm. Many of the cultivation methods in the Yuan realm were passed down from the Heaven realm. Emperor Formless explained. Everyone listened quietly. Many of them had already known about this secret long ago. As for the foreign tribes, they come from another world called the Evil Prison Realm. The living beings in this world call themselves the God race, but that's just boasting. We call them the Evil race or the Evil God race. In ancient times, the Evil God race opened a void passage and attacked the Heaven realm. They waged a fierce war with the Heaven realm. The Evil God race was ruthless and cruel. Wherever they passed, not even a blade of grass grew. They killed all living beings on sight. Blood flowed like rivers. Even the old, weak, women, and children were not spared. At this point, Emperor Wu Xiang waved his hand, and images appeared in the air. In the images were the scenes of the Evil God race's attack. Wherever they passed, countless living beings died tragically. Their corpses formed mountains. It was a tragic sight. Images flashed past. Some of the images were of great battles. Many powerful forces were annihilated under the attack of the Evil God race. Lu Ming discovered that apart from the three-eyed God race, there were other races in the Evil God race. All of them were incomparably terrifying and unpredictable. In ancient times, the Heaven realm was no match for them. Countless powerhouses died in battle, and countless powerful forces were annihilated. At that time, when the war reached its climax, the void was pierced through. Many relics of the heaven realm fell into the primordial realm. The corpses of some powerhouses fell into the primordial realm, forming some forbidden lands now. Of course, there were also powerhouses from the evil god race who took the opportunity to enter the primordial realm. Later on, the void repaired itself, and it was very difficult for the evil god race to come over. And those evil god race who entered the primordial realm back then secretly formed many terrifying forces, such as the demon spirit sect, evil spirit sect, and others. They specialized in hunting down the primordial realm's geniuses and powerhouses. Last time, it was these existences who opened the void passage and let the evil god race enter Celestial City. After Emperor Wuxia explained, many people finally understood what was going on. So the demon spirit sect, evil spirit sect, and other forces were all created by the evil god race. No wonder. These evil sects should be eradicated as soon as possible. Many people discussed. Evil spirit sect. Lu Ming clenched his fists tightly. The current Song state was still under the control of the evil spirit sect. However, the void passage opened by the evil god race this time is only a small one. It's not stable. Thearchs or those above the arch realm cannot pass through. Once they force their way through, the void passage will collapse. Therefore, those who can pass through are only existences below the arch realm. Emperor Wuxia continued. Everyone's eyes lit up. It turned out that the other party's powerhouses above the arch realm could not pass through. This was definitely good news. Don't be happy too early. This is just a small battle. In the future, if the evil god race really breaks through the void and opens a stable void passage, or if the remaining powerhouses of the heaven realm are lost, then the evil god race will descend en masse. Therefore, the final battle will come sooner or later. Chapter 2001. Yes, what if the other party launched a large-scale attack in the future? Some people showed a look of despair. Therefore, we must win this battle. If we can't even win this small battle, how can we fight in the future? How can we annihilate the evil god tribe? Emperor Wuxia's voice grew louder and louder as his aura grew stronger and stronger. It was as if he was a ferocious tiger. Many people clenched their fists tightly together. Are you willing to chase after us and win this battle? Annihilate the evil god tribe, protect your family, protect your loved ones, and protect your friends? Emperor Wuxia's voice became louder and louder, filled with an indomitable aura. Yes, yes. Many people roared, their voices shaking the sky. Especially some of the young people, their blood was boiling. Wasn't it just the evil god tribe? It was just a battle. In order to protect what they wanted to protect, so what if they died in battle? Alright, next we will be divided into 3 armies, led by the 3 of us. We will form a triangle and completely annihilate the evil god tribe. Emperor Wuxia announced. After that, all the powerhouses were divided into 3 armies, led by the 3 great emperors. All the forces of the ancient moon sacred ground followed Emperor Wuxia. A day later, the army set off towards the evil god tribe. Of course, the martial emperors on their side dealt with the martial emperors of the other side, and those below the martial emperors dealt with those below the martial emperors. This battle almost annihilated the evil god tribe's army in the north of the Yuan Mountains sacred ground. After that, the evil god tribe mobilized their armies from several other directions, and there was also an army from the Celestial City. Both sides engaged in a fierce battle in the north of the Yuan Mountains sacred ground. This battle became a stalemate, and it lasted for half a year. For half a year, Lu Ming and the others were constantly fighting, tempering themselves, and often walking on the edge of life and death. For them, their improvement was very fast. Lu Ming's cultivation had reached the peak of the Absolute Saint Realm, and he was slowly approaching the peak of the Absolute Saint Realm. His combat strength was even more shocking. Ordinary boundary emperors would be reduced to ashes with a punch. Huang Ling, Long Chen, Huang Li, and the others had also made great progress, and they had all reached the peak of the Absolute Saint Realm. Luo Tianyi had even successfully cultivated the light of law. Huang Ling, Long Chen, and the others had also touched the edge of the light of law. tempering oneself in the midst of life and death. As long as one didn't die, the results one could achieve were astonishing. If they were to cultivate normally, they wouldn't be able to break through without a few years. The one who improved the fastest was Lu Xiangxiang. Not only did she reach the peak of the Great Saint realm very early on, but she even stimulated her potential in a great battle and broke through her limit to reach the absolute Saint realm. Even Lu Ming was very envious of this speed. However, after entering the Saint realm, Xiangxiang Beila's cultivation speed had slowed down. In the past half a year, Lu Ming had also brought Ouyang Moli, Xuaning Xin, and Tian Chui out to participate in the battle. They had all made great progress. Ouyang Moli had the body of reincarnation, and he also had the world heart of the reincarnation emperor. His cultivation speed was even more terrifying, and it was only a matter of time before he caught up to Xiangxiang. In this half a year, Lu Ming had killed countless experts of the three-eyed divine race and obtained countless resources. These resources were all turned into energy and absorbed by the Heavenly Emperor's body. The energy stored in the Heavenly Emperor's body had finally reached 9%, not far from 10%. After half a year of fierce fighting, they had gained the overall upper hand. They took back the land occupied by the evil god race and began to attack Celestial City. However, the evil god race relied on the city walls to set up heavy defenses in Celestial City. After many battles, although they had killed countless evil god race members, the evil god race could always replenish their numbers. On this day, Lu Ming had just returned to the barracks after fighting for a while when an old man came to find Lu Ming. Lu Ming knew this old man. He was a teacher of the Origin Mountain Academy. "The three great emperors want to see me?" When the Origin Mountain Academy's teacher explained the purpose of his visit, Lu Ming was a little stunned. Why did the three great emperors want to see him? Lu Ming didn't ask much. He followed the Origin Mountain Academy's teacher and came to a military tent. In the military tent, the three great emperors were sitting together, seemingly discussing something. "Lu Ming, you're here." Seeing Lu Ming, Great Emperor Wu Xiang smiled. "Greetings to the three great emperors." Lu Ming bowed, and the teacher from the Yuanshan Sacred Academy left the room. "Lu Ming, I'm looking for you this time because I have something to ask you for help." Great Emperor Wu Xiang said with a smile. "Ask me for help?" Lu Ming was even more confused. The great emperors were looking for him for help. What was going on? If even the great emperors couldn't handle it, it was useless to look for him. "Lu Ming, you have also seen the battle during this period. Although we have the advantage and are constantly killing the evil god race, the evil god race has always been able to replenish their numbers. It is because of that void passage. As long as there is that void passage, we can't completely annihilate the evil god race. We can only form a stalemate. The land of Origin Mountain can't be stabilized." Great Emperor Wu Xiang said. Among the three great emperors, Great Emperor Wu Xiang was better at talking. Therefore, it was usually Great Emperor Wu Xiang who spoke. Lu Ming nodded. Indeed, that void passage was the foundation. As long as that void passage was there, they couldn't completely annihilate the evil god race. But what did that have to do with him? With his current cultivation, he couldn't help much at all. If we want to defeat the evil god race, we have to seal that void passage. This will require Lu Ming's help. Great Emperor Wu Xiang said. "Great Emperor, feel free to speak your mind. As long as Lu Ming can help, I will not decline." Lu Ming said. "All right, we will bring you to a place." Great Emperor Wu Xiang nodded. Then, with a wave of his hand, a force enveloped Lu Ming. Following that, the space split open. The three great emperors brought Lu Ming and disappeared from the military tent. The next moment, they arrived in a valley. They didn't know where this valley was. It seemed to be very hidden, and there was a powerful force in the air. After arriving here, Lu Ming felt an inexplicable throbbing. It was as if something was attracting him. The few of them moved forward and came to a concave ground. That is, Lu Ming saw a huge stone plate on the ground in front of him. It was circular and looked very ancient, filled with the aura of time. The stone plate was embedded in the ground. No, it should be said that the stone plate fell from the sky and smashed into the ground. Lu Ming could sense that what attracted him was this stone plate. This stone plate has the aura of the law of primal chaos. Lu Ming couldn't help but say, "You've sensed it." "That's right. This stone plate does have the aura of the law of primal chaos. We speculate that this stone plate is very likely to be the weapon of one of the strongest in the heaven realm, the primal chaos emperor." It was rare for the heavenly fire emperor to speak. The weapon of the primal chaos emperor. Chapter 2002. The Primal Chaos Emperor. This stone plate could be a weapon used by the Primal Chaos Emperor. The Primal Chaos Emperor could be considered his master. The Primal Chaos scripture came from the Primal Chaos Emperor. No wonder Lu Ming felt that this stone plate was attracting him the moment he arrived. Lu Ming, we speculate that this stone plate has a terrifying sealing power. If we can control it, we can seal the void passageway of the evil god tribe. It's a pity that we have tried various methods but to no avail. Therefore we thought of you. You are the son of primal chaos and cultivate the law of primal chaos. You might be able to control this stone plate and revive it. Emperor Formless said. "Alright, I'll try." Lu Ming nodded and stepped forward to the stone plate. The stone plate was very large, like a small mountain. Lu Ming circulated the law of primal chaos and spread it toward the stone plate. When the law of primal chaos enveloped the stone plate, it seemed to resonate with the stone plate, causing it to vibrate. Emperor Formless, Emperor Heavenly Fire, and Emperor Chaotic Heaven's eyes lit up. Continue. Lu Ming continued to control the law of primal chaos, enveloping the stone plate from afar. The stone plate began to vibrate violently. Due to the passage of time, it was covered in a layer of rock. At this moment, the rock crumbled, revealing the stone plate. The stone plate was gray and looked like a primal chaos stone. There were some mysterious runes carved on it. At this moment, those runes lit up. Boom! Finally, the stone plate vibrated and flew up to hover above Lu Ming's head. At this moment, Lu Ming's mind buzzed. He seemed to see a majestic figure controlling the array plate and fighting against an enemy. The Primal Chaos Emperor. Lu Ming's heart shook. That figure was indeed the Primal Chaos Emperor. This stone plate really did look like the Primal Chaos Emperor's weapon. What a mysterious law of primal chaos. At this moment, Lu Ming seemed to sense an extremely mysterious and ancient law of primal chaos from the stone plate. It was many times faster than what he comprehended. At this moment, Lu Ming's comprehension of the primal chaos laws seemed to have deepened. During this period of cultivation, his comprehension of the primal chaos law had already reached 95%. However, he now had a feeling that he was close to reaching 96%. The stone plate continued to vibrate, and the figure of the primal chaos emperor disappeared. The stone plate began to shrink and finally fell into Lu Ming's hand. "Oh, looks like it's a success." Emperor Wuxia smiled. Heavenly Fire Great Emperor and Chaotic Heaven Great Emperor also smiled. However, the three martial monarchs soon withdrew their smiles. "Lu Ming, our original plan was to lead the army and launch an all-out attack to attract the other party's attention. After that, the great emperors would suddenly charge in and kill their way to the void passageway. Then they would seal the void passageway with the chaos stone plate. However, you should know that even though the enemy's emperors can't enter, there are still quite a number of emperors here. Back then, 2 of them were killed by the heavenly emperor's body, so there are still 8 of them left. During this period of time, we killed another one, so there are still 7 of them. Therefore, it's very dangerous for you to go. We won't force you to go. If you don't want to go, we'll think of another way." Emperor Wuxia said. "That's right. Although we'll do our best to protect you, the enemy is an emperor. There's no guarantee that nothing will happen. Therefore, you have to make the decision yourself." Heavenly Fire Great Emperor said. This matter was too dangerous, so Lu Ming had to make the decision himself. "I'll go." Lu Ming agreed without hesitation. A real man had some things to do and some not to do. How could he refuse such a thing because he was afraid of death? Emperor Wuxia and the others nodded in satisfaction when they saw Lu Ming's determined gaze. "Lu Ming, don't worry. Even if we die, will protect you. Emperor Wuxiang said. If you die, we die too. Emperor Hun Tian spoke for the first time, but his voice was firm and powerful. Lu Ming was very touched. As great emperors, they were high and mighty and powerful. In fact, they could force Lu Ming to do anything. If a few great emperors joined forces, Lu Ming could only obey. However, they didn't. Instead, they asked for Lu Ming's opinion. They promised that they would protect Lu Ming with their lives. As a great emperor, he could do this. Lu Ming was in awe of his character. Emperors, do we have other emperors? Lu Ming asked. Of course. Otherwise, how could the three of us be a match for the evil god tribe? Emperor Wuxiang said. Lu Ming was enlightened. Indeed, how could the three of them be a match for the evil god tribe? Moreover, they had killed one of the evil god tribe's members. There were other emperors in the dark. I'll bring you to meet them now. Emperor Wuxiang said. Then he tore open space and brought Lu Ming back to the camp. Emperor Wuxiang then sent a message. Soon, space rippled and a figure stepped in. This figure was covered in milky white light. It was divine light that was so dazzling that one couldn't open their eyes. The people of the Heavenly God sect in the Tsang province also cultivated divine light, but compared to this, they were trash. Emperor. Lu Ming knew that this was an emperor. His aura wasn't any weaker than Emperor Wuxiang and the others. Lu Ming, this is the sacred emperor of the ancient sacred tribe. Emperor Wuxiang introduced. Greetings, sacred emperor. Lu Ming bowed. The chaos gem has awakened? The sacred emperor said coldly, like a high and mighty god. That's right. Emperor Wuxiang nodded. The sacred emperor didn't say anything else. Then, space rippled and another person arrived. This person was an emperor of the primordial mountain ancient capital. He was like a peerless emperor. As soon as this emperor arrived, space rippled and another figure appeared. Uncle Kong. Lu Ming couldn't help but exclaim when he saw this figure. This figure was actually Uncle Kong. It seemed that Uncle Kong was indeed an emperor. Could it be that Uncle Kong had been secretly participating in the battle? Greetings, Senior Dan Kong. When Uncle Kong arrived, Emperor Wuxiang and the others clasped their fists at him and addressed him as senior. Even the cold and arrogant Holy Emperor, who was like an emperor, bowed to Count Kong. It seemed that Uncle Kong's seniority was very high. Uncle Kong nodded. He looked very old. His turbid eyes looked at Lu Ming and said, I'll escort Lu Ming in. With Senior Dan Kong taking care of it, we'll naturally be at ease. Then, we'll delay the other emperors. Emperor Wuxiang said. Seniors, why don't I see the Heng family and He family? Lu Ming wanted to ask about the Heng family, He family, and the Daluo Heaven sect. At this critical moment, those emperors were also nowhere to be seen. Don't mention those cowardly old foxes. When the battle starts, all of them hide and wait to reap the benefits. Chapter 2003. The 6 great emperors discussed for a while and decided to launch the attack tomorrow. On the second day, all the experts gathered and charged towards Celestial City. Kill! Sound waves soared into the sky as endless killing intent soared. Countless experts charged towards Celestial City. Those below the Martial Emperor level attacked from below. Those above the Martial Emperor level attacked directly from above. Boom! Boom! Terrifying loud sounds came from all around Celestial City. A great battle broke out. That area seemed to be on the verge of exploding. The sky was torn apart as if it was the end of the world. Fortunately, Celestial City was built by the Celestial Emperor in the past. It was sturdy and immortal. Even such an intense battle couldn't destroy Celestial City. Lu Ming, Uncle Kong, and the others stood in the sky and watched from afar. Let's attack first, Emperor Wuxiang said. Then, the 5 great emperors turned into 5 streaks of light and charged into Celestial City. Kill! In Celestial City, there were wild roars and terrifying rays of light that rushed towards Emperor Wuxiang and the others. The battle between the great emperors broke out and reached the endless sky of Celestial City. The great emperors were too terrifying. If they fought below, The others would be affected and die in the aftermath of the battle between the great emperors. The battle became more and more intense. Even though they were far away, there were howling winds that swept over. "Palace Master, let's go." Uncle Kong waved his hand and a power enveloped Lu Ming. Then, he tore through the void and arrived inside Celestial City in the next moment. This was the original place of Celestial Emperor Mountain. Below, there was a huge cave. Looking from afar, one could see a huge black vortex. Uncle Kong's figure dashed into the cave with a flicker. In the black vortex, there was a huge evil god tribe member. His body was incomparably huge. Compared to him, ordinary people were like ants. This huge evil god tribe member stretched out 2 palms and supported the 2 sides of the vortex. From time to time, there would be evil god tribe members rushing out from the vortex. At the edge of the vortex, there was a figure sitting cross-legged there. At this moment, that figure's gaze was like a divine sword as he looked at Uncle Kong and Lu Ming. "You want to attack the void passage?" This person shouted and erupted with a terrifying aura. If Lu Ming wasn't enveloped by Uncle Kong's power, he would most likely be shaken to death. This person was also a great emperor expert that was guarding the void passage. Slash! Uncle Kong murmured. At this moment, Uncle Kong's slouching figure became tall and straight. His murky eyes shone with a bright light, like 2 stars in the night sky. A terrifying sword soared into the sky, shaking the heavens and earth. Clang! A beam of sword light slashed apart the heaven domain, destroying the sky dome as it slashed towards the evil god race's great emperor. Boom! Their attacks collided, causing the underground cave to shake violently. Cracks started to appear in the void. Some of the evil god tribe members that had just charged out of the whirlpool were directly reduced to ashes by the shockwaves. Clang! Clang! The long sword in Uncle Kong's hand vibrated unceasingly, and the sword whistled unceasingly. In an instant, he had slashed out hundreds and thousands of swords. Each slash could kill a peak true emperor. The evil god emperor of the evil god race howled in rage as he erupted forth with all his might to fight against Uncle Kong. However, at this moment, the evil god emperor was being suppressed. "Master, now is the time." Uncle Kong transmitted a message to Lu Ming. "Chaos stone plate." Lu Ming's heart moved, and the chaos stone plate flew out. It rapidly expanded until it was the size of a planet. It was boundless. "Suppress for me." Lu Ming roared. He controlled the chaos stone plate to suppress the void passage. The chaos stone plate emitted a resplendent radiance, wanting to seal the void passage. Want to seal the void passage? Don't even think about it. The evil god race's great emperor roared. He used all his strength to break through Uncle Kong's sword light and stop Lu Ming. Bang! Bang! Uncle Kong moved with a mysterious footwork. With each step, his body would emit a bright light. As he moved forward, the light on his body became brighter and brighter. At the same time, Uncle Kong's sword aura became stronger and stronger. He had already gained the upper hand, suppressing the evil god race's great emperor. Poof! Blood splattered everywhere. A deep wound appeared on the evil god race's great emperor's body, causing him to roar madly. At this moment, in the battlefield of the great emperors, the evil god race's great emperors naturally saw what was happening in the void passage. Damn it! They want to seal the void passage. Stop them! The demonic spirit religion leader roared. At this moment, he was fighting against Emperor Wuxia. Emperor Wuxia was formless and formless. He transformed into thousands of shadows and surrounded the demonic spirit religion leader. The other great emperors were also holding their opponents back. The most terrifying one was Emperor Hun Tian. His combat strength was terrifying and he had the ability to shake the heavens and earth. He alone was holding back 2 great emperors. Suppress! Lu Ming roared. The chaos stone plate continued to suppress the void passage. That huge evil god race's great emperor pressed on the edge of the void passage with one hand and dragged the chaos stone plate with the other. For a moment, the chaos stone plate was actually blocked and could not suppress it. Lu Ming's cultivation was ultimately too weak. That huge evil god race's great emperor Cultivation was at least at the true emperor level. It was normal for it to be able to block it. Slash. At this moment, Uncle Kong shouted coldly. A sword light slashed down from the head of the huge evil god race's great emperor, splitting his head into two. The huge evil god race's great emperor roared and fell down powerlessly. His body disappeared into the vortex. Boom. Without any resistance, the chaos stone plate pressed down and blocked the void passage. Rumble. The chaos stone plate vibrated. It was about to completely embed itself into the void and become one with it to seal the void passage. Boom. Boom. The chaos stone plate vibrated continuously. It seemed like the other side of the chaos stone plate was suffering from a terrifying attack. Shwa. In the next moment, Uncle Kong landed on the chaos stone plate with Lu Ming. Endless energy surged from Uncle Kong's body into the chaos stone plate, helping Lu Ming to suppress the stone plate. Don't even think about it. Kill. The evil god race's great emperor attacked Uncle Kong crazily. High in the sky, the evil god race's great emperor also went crazy and started to fight with his life. With this, Emperor Wuxia and the others could no longer stop him. Shwa. Shwa. Several figures rushed into the cave in succession. Kill. Several evil god race's great emperors attacked Uncle Kong and Lu Ming together like a storm. Uncle Kong had to suppress the chaos stone plate and diverted a portion of his energy. His battle strength was naturally insufficient. The long sword in his hand emitted endless sword light. Although he managed to block the attacks of several great emperors, he staggered and blood flowed out of his mouth. Uncle Kong. Lu Ming was extremely worried. Fortunately, Emperor Wuxia and the others arrived at the next moment. Following which, the other great emperors also rushed in. A chaotic battle broke out in this place. However, this space was extremely mysterious. It was big enough. Back then, the Lotus world was here. There were 9 worlds. From this, one could see how big this space was. Many great emperors were in a chaotic battle. Uncle Kong's energy surged continuously into the chaos stone plate. Chapter 2004. Rumble. The chaos stone plate continued to vibrate as it continued to suppress the void passage. After the last loud rumble, the entire chaos stone plate was completely embedded in the void passage as if it had merged with the space. The void passage was completely sealed. Damn it, all of you must die. The demon religion hierarch roared crazily as he attacked Emperor Wuxia with his terrifying power. The other great emperors of the evil god race also unleashed terrifying attacks. Their attacks were frenzied, as though they had all gone mad. With the void passage sealed, it was equivalent to cutting off their source of troops. Only the evil god tribe in Celestial City was left, and they would be wiped out sooner or later. You are doomed. You are doomed to fail. Emperor Wuxia said coldly. Fail? What a joke. So what if you sealed the passage? Other than you great emperors, who else can stop us? We will kill everyone below the great emperor realm, especially such geniuses. The demon religion hierarch's voice was incomparably cold and filled with terrifying killing intent. As he spoke, his cold gaze swept towards Lu Ming. Lu Ming felt a chill in his heart. Indeed, the other party still had 7 great emperors. This was a disaster. If the other party hid and deliberately avoided the great emperors of Yuan Mountain to hunt those below the great emperor realm, no one would be able to stop them. They would all die. And the great emperors of Yuan Mountain couldn't stay together every day. If they were separated, they would be attacked separately. Even the great emperors would die. If the 7 great emperors attacked without hesitation, it would be too dangerous. You have no chance. The Chaos Heaven Great Emperor, who had been silent all this time, spoke at this time. Then, he opened his palm and a door of light appeared in his palm. As soon as this door of light appeared, it instantly enlarged and turned into a giant door that was 10,000 feet tall. A terrifying suction force erupted from the door of light. Come in. The Chaos Heaven Great Emperor spoke as the power in his body surged into the door of light. The door of light erupted with an even stronger force that enveloped the 7 great emperors of the evil god tribe, wanting to swallow them into the door of light. Damn it, it's the gate of world viewing. They want to take us to the heavenly world. Let's go. The great emperors of the evil god tribe roared as they tried their best to rush out. Stay. At this moment, Emperor Wuxia, the Holy Emperor, the Emperor-like Emperor, Uncle Kong, and the others unleashed their full strength to tie down their opponents. Lu Ming was enveloped by Uncle Kong's power and stood behind him. He could not intervene in such a great battle at all. Damn it, the Celestial Emperor's body is only a bit away from 10%. I can't control it at all. Lu Ming's heart was filled with hatred. He wished he could help. 1. The door of light trembled, and the suction force grew stronger and stronger, wanting to draw the 7 evil god tribe great emperors in. However, the evil god tribe great emperors resisted with all their might, unable to move the door at all. At this moment, the heavenly fire monarch also arrived at the door of light. A terrifying power surged into the door of light, making the door of light even more attractive. However, he was still lacking a little. The 7 immortal emperors of the evil god race attacked crazily. Their attacks were simply too terrifying. There were only 4 people in Uncle Kong's group, and they were trying their best to stop them. However, the situation was very critical. Bang! Emperor Wuxia was struck. His body trembled violently as blood flowed out of his mouth. However, he still refused to back down. At the same time, the Holy Emperor was also heavily injured. Heavenly Flame, let's begin. The Chaos Heaven Emperor looked at the Heavenly Fire Monarch. All right. The Heavenly Fire Monarch nodded. Boom, boom. Suddenly, a terrifying aura erupted from the Heavenly Fire Monarch and the Chaos Heaven Emperor. Their bodies seemed to be burning as if they were 2 men on fire. The attractive force of the world viewing gate suddenly increased by several times. The 7 people of the evil god tribe were attracted by the terrifying force and slowly moved toward the world viewing gate. The world viewing gate led to the heaven domain. If one was attracted by it, they would directly enter the heaven domain. Without finding the correct void passage, they would not be able to return. This way, the crisis of the Yuan Mountain could be resolved. You guys are crazy. How dare you burn yourselves? The demonic spirit church leader roared and charged forward with all his might. The other evil god tribe great emperors erupted with all their strength. All kinds of shocking power blasted toward Uncle Kong and the others. The power of the world viewing gate was useless against Uncle Kong and the others. Go in. Uncle Kong and the others blocked, not allowing them to charge out. 4 against 7, they were at an absolute disadvantage. At this moment, not only Emperor Wuxia, the Holy Emperor, the Emperor-like Great Emperor, and Uncle Kong were all injured. However, they did not care about their injuries and blocked the entrance like a divine wall. Come in. The Chaos Heaven Emperor and the Heavenly Fire Monarch shouted. Their bodies seemed to become transparent and were about to merge with the world viewing gate. The attractive force was getting stronger and stronger. No, I'm not willing. Finally, one of the evil god tribe great emperors could not resist and was pulled into the world viewing gate, disappearing. The other evil god tribe great emperors were shocked. They roared and fought with all their might. However, the Chaos Heaven Emperor and the Heavenly Fire Monarch were about to merge with the world viewing gate. The power of the world viewing gate was even stronger, causing the evil god tribe great emperors to be greatly affected. Great emperors! Lu Ming's heart trembled and he felt a lump in his throat. The Chaos Heaven Emperor and the Heavenly Fire Monarch were clearly fighting with all their might. They did not care about their own safety and wanted to send the other party into the heaven domain to ensure the safety of the Yuan Mountain. Most of the heaven domain had been occupied by the evil god tribe. There were countless evil god tribe experts gathered there, including a few great emperors. Get in! Emperor Wuxia, Uncle Kong, and the others attacked continuously, wanting to force the other party into the world viewing gate. Shwa! Finally, another person was pulled into the world viewing gate. Every time someone was pulled in, the pressure on Uncle Kong and the others would lessen, and the other party's strength to resist would also decrease. No matter how unwilling the other party was, they could not change the situation. One by one, they were pulled into the world viewing gate and disappeared. A moment later, all the evil god tribe great emperors were pulled into the world viewing gate. At this moment, the heavenly fire monarch and the chaos heaven emperor's figures were almost transparent. Everyone, I'll leave the Yuan mountain to you in the future. The heavenly fire monarch cupped his fists. The two of you, take care. The sacred emperor, Uncle Kong, and the others also cupped their fists, a trace of sadness and helplessness on their faces. Lu Ming stepped forward, cupped his fists, and bowed to the two great emperors. At this moment he only had respect for the two great emperors. Lu Ming, with your talent, it won't be a problem for you to surpass us old fellows in the future. I look forward to your growth. The heavenly fire monarch said with a smile. The chaos heaven emperor nodded and did not say anything. Shwa. At this moment, the world viewing gate flashed and suddenly disappeared. The heavenly fire monarch and the chaos heaven emperor also disappeared. Lu Ming's heart trembled. The two great emperors disappeared just like that. Could it be that they had died? It was obvious that everything that had happened today had been planned by the great emperors. Chapter 2005. Uncle Kong, could it be that the two great emperors have already fallen? Lu Ming asked the question in his heart. I don't think so. Uncle Kong shook his head, but then said, but it's also very dangerous. They burned themselves and merged with the Gate of Realm Viewing, increasing the power of the Gate of Realm Viewing. However, their origin chi was greatly damaged, and they don't have much combat power left. And now, most of the territory of the Heaven Realm is under the control of the evil god tribe. Now that they have been brought into the Heaven Realm by the Gate of Realm Viewing, if they are lucky and fall into the territory of the human race or the monster race, it will be fine. If they fall into the territory of the evil god tribe, it will be dangerous. After saying that, Uncle Kong sighed. They lacked manpower, so they could only do this. If there were a few more great emperors, perhaps they wouldn't have to use such an extreme method. Lu Ming's heart trembled. In other words, the two great emperors' life and death were unpredictable. The two great emperors were high and mighty, almost immortal. In the land of Yuan Mountain, they were almost invincible. Such an existence was now putting himself in danger for the sake of Yuan Mountain. His life and death were unpredictable. It was admirable. Lu Ming, you don't have to be sad. Maybe they will be fine. Great Emperor Wuxia comforted Lu Ming. You still have to be sad. Great Emperor Wuxia's cold and arrogant voice sounded. He stared at Lu Ming and said, this battle is just a small interlude. The final battle will come sooner or later. We all know this. Great Emperor Hun Tian and Heavenly Fire also know this. They risked their lives to protect the land of Yuan Mountain. More importantly, they want to protect the younger generation. This is because your generation has reached a golden age. Many geniuses have gathered. You are the hope of the future. If a true powerful figure can be born in your generation, we will then have hope. Therefore, Lu Ming, grow up well. Definitely. At this moment, Lu Ming's eyes were incomparably firm. At this moment, he thought of many things. Perhaps, the three great emperors established the Sacred Academy of Yuan Mountain and spent a lot of effort to gather all the geniuses in the land of Yuan Mountain. They did their best to train them so that they could grow faster. It could be said that Great Emperor Wuxia, Great Emperor Hun Tian, and Great Emperor Heavenly Fire did not have the slightest selfishness. They were wholeheartedly for the Yuan realm, wholeheartedly to fight against the foreign race. Let's go out. It's time for this battle to end, Emperor Wuxia said. Several great emperors stepped out. In the next moment, they arrived in the airspace above Celestial City. The battle in Celestial City was still ongoing. It was incomparably bitter. Many figures were fighting in the sky. They were all martial emperors and the scene was shocking. Clang. In Uncle Kong's hand, a sword light burst forth. A shocking sword light cut across the sky, splitting the entire sky apart. Several fiend god true emperors were slain in the blink of an eye. At the same time, Emperor Wuxia, Holy Emperor, and the others also made their moves. A grand emperor crushed the true emperors and void emperors of the fiend god tribe. Emperor blood dyed the sky red. In the blink of an eye, dozens of evil god tribes' emperor realm experts were killed. The great emperors have won. On Yuan Mountain's side, seeing the great emperor take action, someone immediately roared. The great emperor won. The roars became louder and louder, and the morale of Yuan Mountain's side increased greatly. As for the evil god tribe, their morale was greatly reduced. They saw the great emperors of the primordial mountain attacking, but they didn't see the great emperors of the evil god race attacking. At this moment they panicked. The 4 great emperors attacked, and the evil god tribe's emperor realm experts were killed one after another. In this way, the great emperors of Yuan Mountain were free to attack, and the battle became one-sided. Large numbers of evil god tribe members were killed. Retreat, retreat. The evil god tribe members roared. Retreat, hide. Countless evil god tribe members flew in all directions. Some flew out of Celestial City, some flew directly into the city, and some even sank into the ground. Kill, don't let any of them go. The experts of Yuan Mountain roared and chased after the evil god tribe members. The 4 great emperors killed a few more evil god tribe members, and then stopped and didn't continue to attack. Because of the previous battle, the 4 great emperors were seriously injured and needed to heal. Uncle Kong, are you all okay? Lu Ming was a little worried. I'm fine. I'm old, I just need to rest for a while. Uncle Kong said. His eyes became turbid again, and the aura of his body seemed to be very weak. Lu Ming, we need to heal, we'll leave the rest to you. Great Emperor Wuxia said. Then the 4 great emperors left one after another. As for Lu Ming, he sent a message to Huang Ling and the others. He found Huang Ling and the others' location and joined them to hunt down the fleeing evil god tribe members. This pursuit lasted for a few days. Countless evil god tribe members were killed, and their corpses covered the inside and outside of Celestial City. However, there were still many evil god tribe members who fled into the wild mountains or various secret places to hide. One could imagine that if these evil god tribe members weren't eliminated, sooner or later, they would evolve into forces like the evil spirit religion and demon spirit religion, hunting the Yuan realm's powerhouses and geniuses. A few days later, the great emperors issued an order, summoning everyone to hunt evil god tribe members in Yuan Mountain. There would be corresponding rewards. For a time, countless people formed teams and hunted all over Yuan Mountain, sweeping through the evil god tribe. Many evil god tribe members were found and killed. In a flash, 2 months passed. On this day, Lu Ming, Huang Ling, Long Chen, and the others flew towards a wild mountain. Wei Xian, you can't have sensed wrongly, right? Is it really in this direction? Huang Li looked at a young man with a puzzled expression. It shouldn't be wrong, it's in this direction. The young man said. The young man was called Wei Xian, a member of Yuan Mountain Sacred Academy's Dragon Alliance. 2 months ago, he joined Lu Ming's team. Wei Xian had a powerful tracking talent. He could track the enemy based on extremely weak smells and auras. In the past 2 months, they had already tracked down and killed several batches of evil god tribe members. Most of them relied on Wei Xian's tracking technique. But this time, they had already tracked for 3 days, but they still couldn't find the evil god tribe members. No wonder Huang Li had doubts. They continued to fly. Not long after, Wei Xian suddenly stopped. Why aren't we moving? Everyone was puzzled. What a strong smell of blood. Wei Xian frowned. Smell of blood? I don't smell it. Huang Li sniffed, but he didn't smell anything. I smell it, what a strong smell of blood, chirp chirp. Bubbles sat on Lu Ming's shoulder and sniffed. Let's set off quickly. Lu Ming's face sank. Wei Xian led the way and flew towards the place where the smell of blood was. Not long after, they came to a town. But now, this town was lifeless and dead silent. Everyone was dead. Blood dyed the ground red, and the smell of blood was incomparably strong. In the town, corpses were piled up into mountains, and blood flowed into rivers. Chapter 2006. Darn evil god tribe. Huang Li roared angrily as veins popped out all over his body. Huang Ling, Long Chen, Luo Tianyi, Luo Xiang, Ouyang Wushuang, and company also emitted cold-killing intent. Clearly, This was the work of the evil god tribe. Wherever the evil god tribe passed, blood flowed like a river, leaving nothing behind. The reason why the evil god tribe killed so many people is to use the smell of blood to conceal their auras, so as to escape our pursuit. Wei Xian gritted his teeth as he clenched his fists tightly. These words made Lu Ming and company's killing intent even stronger. The evil god tribe had killed so many people just to use the smell of blood to conceal their auras, so as to escape their pursuit. Their methods were so cruel that it made one's hair stand on end. Darn evil god tribe. Kill, kill, we must kill all these beasts. Huang Li roared angrily. There was no room for reconciliation between the evil god tribe and them. When both sides met, there was only killing. It's either you die or I die. Wei Xian, can you continue tracking? Lu Ming took a deep breath to calm himself down before asking. These evil god tribe members are very cunning. They massacred the entire city and collected a large amount of blood. Moreover, they separated into a few paths and scattered their blood along the way to deceive us. However, they still underestimated me. As long as you give me some time, I will be able to find the correct direction. Wei Xian said. All right, let's set off. Lu Ming nodded. The group circled around the city. Wei Xian sensed carefully, and after a moment he pointed to the left and led the way. The rest followed. This time, after another half a day, they arrived at the entrance of a hidden valley. There were many mountains here, one after another. It was as if there was no end to them. If they did not have powerful tracking techniques, it would not be easy to find them if they hid here. The evil god tribe is in this valley. Wei Xian said. All right, Wei Xian, the few of you guard the valley entrance. Lu Ming looked at Wei Xian and a few desolate race members with weaker cultivation levels. Can I join the battle? The alliance leader is my idol. Wei Xian said. 2 months ago, he had taken the initiative to find Lu Ming and company. The moment he saw Lu Ming, he said that Lu Ming was his idol. He had joined the Dragon Alliance because of this. In the beginning, Lu Ming was rather speechless. But during this period of time, Wei Xian had already integrated into the team and obtained everyone's approval. However, Wei Xian's cultivation was still a little low. He had just broken through to Great Sage not long ago. Lu Ming didn't want him to take the risk. Your duty at the entrance of the valley is also very important. If any fish escapes the net, you will be responsible for sniping. Lu Ming said. Wei Xian was helpless. He knew that his cultivation was weak, and if he followed them in, he might be a burden to Lu Ming and the others. Thus, he nodded and stayed. Lu Ming, Huang Li, Huang Ling, Long Chen, Luo Xiang, Ouyang Wushuang, Luo Tianyi, and Bubbles retracted their auras and walked towards the valley. In the valley, there were at least several tens of members of the evil god tribe gathered together. Some were recuperating, while others were cultivating. Enemy attack. The evil god race was very sharp. The moment Lu Ming and the others entered the valley, they were discovered by the evil god race. Several tens of members of the evil god tribe unleashed their auras at the same time, and their gazes swept toward Lu Ming and the others. A few youths kill. When some members of the evil god race saw that Lu Ming and the others were just youths, they immediately roared. Destructive light burst forth from their third eyes, and they charged toward Lu Ming and the others. At the same time, the third eyes of the other members of the evil god race shot out beams of destructive light with astonishing might. The members of the evil god race who could escape here were all experts. At the very least, they were absolute sages. Most of them were quasi-emperors. Kill! Lu Ming and the others shouted. They unleashed their attacks, shattering the beams of destructive light as they charged toward the evil god race. After such a long period of fighting, Lu Ming and the others' strength had improved by leaps and bounds. Almost every one of them had the strength to contend against, or even kill, an ordinary quasi-emperor. As for Lu Ming and Bubbles, their battle prowess was even more astonishing. With a wave of their hands, they killed quasi-emperors. In an instant, more than 10 members of the evil god race were killed by them. The remaining members of the evil god race had extremely ugly expressions. They knew that they had encountered terrifying geniuses. Retreat, retreat. Some members of the evil god race roared, wanting to retreat into the depths of the valley. Bubbles stopped them. Lu Ming transmitted his voice to Bubbles. "Watch me, chirp chirp." Bubbles pressed down with her small hand. The void fluctuated, and the space formed many shields, enveloping the evil god race within. Boom, boom. The attacks of the evil god race struck the spatial shields. They wanted to charge out, but they couldn't break through them at all. Then Lu Ming and the others arrived, and the members of the evil god race were killed one by one. Courting death. At this moment, an explosive roar came from the depths of the valley, causing the entire valley to tremble. A vast might spread out from the depths of the valley. That was Emperor's might. There was actually an Emperor Realm evil god race member in this valley. No wonder those members of the evil god race wanted to charge into the depths of the valley just now. The expressions of Lu Ming and the others turned somewhat grave. Swoosh. 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 Lu Ming continuously used the primal chaos tribulation finger. Streams of finger energy rushed out, killing all the remaining members of the evil god race. In the next moment, a strong wind blew. A tall and burly evil god race member rushed out and landed heavily on the ground. A vast pressure pressed down on Lu Ming and the others, as heavy as a mountain. This was a genuine Emperor Realm evil god race member. However, it seemed like he was only an illusionary emperor. "He's injured," Wangling said. Indeed, half of this evil god race member's body had exploded. There was a layer of flames burning on the wound, giving off sizzling sounds, preventing the evil god race member from recovering. Clearly, this evil god race member had fled here with serious injuries and was recuperating. However, Lu Ming and the others didn't dare to be careless. Even an injured martial emperor was definitely terrifying. "Even if I'm injured, I can kill you all." Kill. The evil god race's illusionary emperor shouted. The third eye at the center of his brows shot out a destructive light. Primal chaos tribulation finger. Lu Ming pointed his finger with all his might. A huge finger collided with the other party's light of destruction. Boom! A loud sound rang out, and the primal chaos tribulation finger shattered. However, Lu Ming blocked the destructive light as well. Lu Ming's figure trembled as he moved back. He felt his chi and blood surging. The martial emperor realm is indeed strong. Lu Ming thought to himself. Given Lu Ming's current combat prowess, killing a quasi-emperor would be as easy as taking something out of his pocket. However, he was at a disadvantage after exchanging one move with the other party. Martial emperors were too strong. They had already refined world energy and possessed unparalleled offensive power. The difference between a quasi-emperor and a martial emperor was too great. Lu Ming sighed. However, he didn't know that the other party was even more shocked. It was just an absolute sage. To think that the other party could block one of his moves. This was simply inconceivable. Martial emperors were aloof existences with boundless lifespans. In some places, they were called immortal. When facing a martial emperor, those below martial emperor could not resist at all. They could kill them with just a thought. Chapter 2007. Kill. This brat must die. The evil god race martial emperor roared in his heart. If such an outstanding talent matured, he would be a great enemy of their race. Boundless light burst forth from the evil god race martial emperor's body, and his aura grew increasingly stronger. A huge battle axe appeared in his hand. "I'll block him from the front. Bubble will coordinate with me. You guys attack from the back." Lu Ming sent voice transmissions to everyone. His acupoints lit up, and 10-odd holy weapons floated out and circled around him. Whoosh! Lu Ming executed the primal chaos tribulation finger again and pointed. A huge primal chaos tribulation finger shot towards the other party. "Kill!" The quasi-emperor of the evil god tribe hollered as his burly body charged toward Lu Ming. His third eye once again emitted a beam of destructive light. At the same time, he brandished his battle axe and charged at Lu Ming. At this moment, Bubble pressed his hands together, and a transparent bubble enveloped the quasi-emperor. At the same time, the surrounding space turned into spatial blades that chopped at the quasi-emperor. Break for me! The evil god race martial emperor roared. His realm energy erupted, and the transparent bubble shook intensely, looking like it would shatter at any moment. At the same time, he continuously swung his battle axe, shattering Bubble's attacks. At this moment, the attacks of the others arrived as well. A blazing phoenix spread its wings and flew towards the evil god race martial emperor. An immemorial dragon-esque elephant stepped on the void and pressed forward. A star and a terrifying sword light charged at the evil god race martial emperor at the same time. Following that, Luo Tianyi and Ouyang Wushuang attacked as well. With so many people attacking together, the might was astonishing. The evil god race martial emperor roared and continuously swung his battle axe, breaking apart the attacks. Whoosh! The evil god race martial emperor's third eye shot out another destructive light, shattering the transparent bubble. All of you die! The evil god race martial emperor roared. His third eye shot out a dazzling light. Boundless energy in the world gathered towards that eye. Oh no! Lu Ming's expression changed slightly. At this moment, Bubble executed the space-time laws. Space-time power enveloped Lu Ming and the others, increasing their speed. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. In the next moment, more than 10 beams of light shot out of the evil god race's martial emperor's eyes at a startling speed. Fortunately, each of them was enveloped in the law of space and time. Their speed increased sharply, and in a flash, they dodged the attack of the light. Lu Ming continuously dodged the attacks of the light. With a wave of his hand, 9 hell-suppressing steels appeared and shot towards the evil god race's martial emperor. Prison-suppressing steel! The evil god race's martial emperor exclaimed. His voice contained shock and fear. He brandished his battle axe and slashed at the prison-suppressing steel. Boom! Boom! After 9 consecutive explosions, he destroyed 9 of the prison-suppressing monument's phantoms. However, he was also suppressed by the prison-suppressing monument's miraculous powers and was forced to retreat. It is indeed effective. Continue. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. The hell-suppressing steel was indeed effective against the evil god tribe. Lu Ming continued to execute the suppressing hell heavenly skill. Shadows of suppressing hell steels appeared and flew towards the evil god tribe's martial emperor. At the same time, Bubble and the others continued to attack the evil god clan's martial emperors. For a time, the evil god race's martial emperor was at a disadvantage. Roar! Boundless talisman scripts spread out from Lu Ming's hand, forming a true dragon that charged at the evil god race's martial emperor. The might of this true dragon was extremely startling. Although the evil god race's martial emperor exploded, it turned into boundless talisman scripts that covered the evil god race's martial emperor, forming a sealing power. In the past, Lu Ming had not only made breakthroughs in his cultivation but also made significant progress in other aspects. Now, he could already merge the Sealing Scroll, Illusion Spirit Scroll, and Destruction Scroll together to attack. When the 3 scrolls merged together, their might was extremely horrifying. They had both the terrifying power of destruction and the power of sealing. Furthermore, when the 3 scrolls merged together, Lu Ming's array Dao laws reached 99% completion. One could say that the might of the 3 scrolls merged together was no weaker than the primal chaos tribulation finger. After all, the evil god race's martial emperor was severely injured, and his combat prowess was greatly reduced. As for Lu Ming and the others, they were all astonishingly strong. Lu Ming's combat prowess was already sufficient for him to fight the other party head-on. Furthermore, Bubble's space-time laws restricted the other party, weakening the other party's combat prowess. The others focused their attacks on the evil god race's martial emperor's wounds, worsening his injuries. Of course, the thing that injured the evil god race's martial emperor the most was the hell-suppressing heavenly art. After exchanging several dozen moves, the evil god race's martial emperor's injuries worsened. His aura was much weaker than before. Destruction, primal chaos tribulation finger. At this moment, Lu Ming circulated all his sacred energy and pointed with his finger at full power. An incomparably huge finger condensed and descended from the sky, pressing down on the evil god race's martial emperor. Furthermore, the surface of this finger not only had the primal chaos laws but also densely packed talisman scripts. This was a trump card that Lu Ming had come up with during this period. He merged the might of the destruction scroll with the primal chaos tribulation finger. The primal chaos tribulation finger already had terrifying offensive power. Now, with the addition of the destruction scroll's power, its might was even more horrifying. This already involved the fusion of two types of laws. Although it was not a complete fusion, only a superficial fusion, its might was already extremely terrifying. It had become Lu Ming's strongest killing move. Lu Ming named it Destruction, Primal Chaos Tribulation Finger. How can it be so strong? The evil god race's martial emperor roared. The might of this finger shocked him, and he felt a fatal threat. He found it hard to imagine that an absolute saint could launch such a terrifying attack. I have to block it. The evil god race's martial emperor circulated all his strength and crazily erupted, wanting to block this finger. However, at this moment, another transparent bubble enveloped him. At the same time, the space around him seemed to freeze and crazily press down on him. There was even a terrifying power of time acting on his wounds. This was the power of time acceleration, causing his wounds to worsen. At the same time, the attacks of the others arrived. Lu Ming and the others cooperated seamlessly. The evil god race's martial emperor roared and chopped down with his axe with all his strength. However, his strength was greatly restricted. The might he could bring out was limited. When the battle axe and the huge finger clashed, there was a terrifying explosion. Wang! The battle axe vibrated. The evil god race's martial emperor could not hold on to the battle axe and was sent flying. The huge finger tapped the evil god race's martial emperor. The powerful force wanted to blast him apart. Boom! The evil god race's martial emperor's body crashed heavily into the valley. The entire valley directly shattered. Everything within a few thousand miles exploded. Countless rocks flew everywhere. The scene was extremely horrifying. This move severely injured the evil god race's martial emperor, who was on the verge of death. Prison suppressing steel, suppress. At this moment, Lu Ming's spine lit up. The prison suppressing steel bloodline flew out. Chapter 2008. The two fragments of the hell-suppressing steel's bloodline gathered together. At this moment, the two large characters on the two fragments shone brightly. They gave off a startling suppressive force as they pressed down on the evil god race martial emperor. No! The evil god race martial emperor roared in horror. The evil god race martial emperor was already severely injured. Now, he struggled to stand up and burst forth with his remaining strength, wanting to block the hell-suppressing steel. Boom! The evil god race martial emperor raised both hands and burst forth with all his strength. However, when his palms came into contact with the hell-suppressing steel, his body trembled violently. The horror on his face intensified. The evil god race martial emperor's body kept exploding. After a few breaths, the evil god race martial emperor's body completely exploded, turning into ashes, leaving behind only a storage bracelet and a battle axe. Lu Ming waved his hand and grabbed the storage bracelet. The others released a long breath. It was impossible to say that they did not feel any pressure when facing a martial emperor. Fortunately, the other party was severely injured earlier, greatly reducing his combat prowess. Otherwise, even if they worked together, they might not be a match for him. A martial emperor was a martial emperor after all. Even a faux emperor was extremely terrifying. Let's recover here first. After patrolling the valley, Lu Ming did not discover anything strange. He planned to recover here first, adjusting his condition to peak condition before returning. Everyone nodded and sat down cross-legged, starting to recover. Lu Ming entered the mountain river diagram and arrived beside the heavenly emperor's body. Over the past 2 months, every time Lu Ming killed an evil god race cultivator and obtained a crystal, he would refine the energy of the crystal into the heavenly emperor's body. Now, the energy stored in the heavenly emperor's body exceeded 10%. Lu Ming could now control the heavenly emperor's body completely. However, unless he had no other choice, Lu Ming would not use the Heavenly Emperor's body easily. After using it, it would be too difficult to store up that much energy again, requiring a shocking amount of resources. Lu Ming took out the evil god race Martial Emperor's storage bracelet. In the next moment, a large pile of crystals appeared on the ground. Martial Emperors indeed have a lot of resources. Looking at the large pile of crystals, Lu Ming revealed a smile. Bang, bang, bang. Next, Lu Ming activated his cultivation technique, causing a large pile of crystals to explode and be absorbed by the celestial Thearcha's body. After absorbing all the energy from the crystals, the energy stored in the Celestial Emperor's body reached 12%. I wonder how powerful the Celestial Emperor's body will be if I control it now. Lu Ming was looking forward to it. This was the physical body of a heavenly emperor. The power that erupted from it was absolutely unimaginable. Then, Lu Ming took out some origin stones, swallowed and refined them, and restored himself to his peak state. When everyone had recovered to their peak condition, they returned to the Celestial City. During this period of time, the evil god race in Heaven Empyrean City had basically been wiped clean. Heaven Empyrean City began a large-scale reconstruction. The Origin Mountain Sacred Academy was reopened. Alliance leader, the Wei clan has already begun to rebuild. I'll return to the Wei clan first. If you have time, come visit the Wei clan. Wei Xian said with a smile. All right, I hope the Wei clan can rise again. Lu Ming patted Wei Xian's shoulder. The Wei clan was originally a pretty good force in Celestial City with a true emperor overseeing it. However, the Wei clan's location was very close to the original Celestial Emperor Mountain. When the evil god race attacked, the Wei clan bore the brunt. In that battle, the upper echelons of the Wei clan were almost wiped out. All the Emperor Realm powerhouses were killed by the evil god race. The Wei clan was almost completely destroyed. Only a few members of the Wei clan who were not in the clan managed to preserve their lives. For example, Wei Xian was in the Origin Mountain Sacred Academy back then. That was why he was fine. Now, the remaining members of the Wei clan were rebuilding the clan. After Wei Xian left, Lu Ming and the others strolled around Celestial City. Celestial City had suffered a great battle and was severely damaged. All kinds of ancient ruins had collapsed. No one knew how long it would take to repair them. Boom! Suddenly, there was a rumble, and several figures were blasted out of a collapsed palace. What are you doing? This is my Lu clan's residence. One of them roared at the palace. From now on, it belongs to my Heng clan. A cold voice sounded. More than 10 figures stepped out and appeared in the air. People of the Heng clan. A cold light flashed in the eyes of Lu Ming and the others. During the great battle back then, the Heng clan was nowhere to be seen. Now that the battle was won and the evil god race was annihilated, the Heng clan immediately ran out. And from the looks of it, they seemed to want to invade the territory of other forces. Your Heng clan is simply despicable and shameless. Why didn't you make a move during the battle with the evil god race? Now that the battle is over, you run out and want to take over my Lu clan's residence. Despicable! In the Lu clan, a young man roared in anger. How dare you humiliate my Heng clan? You deserve to die. An expert of the Heng clan roared. A sword light burst forth, slashing towards the young man from the Lu clan. The person from the Heng clan who made a move was at the peak of the absolute Saint realm. The young man from the Lu clan couldn't resist at all. Boom! A fist crossed the void and defeated the sword light of the Heng clan expert. It was Huang Li who made a move. His eyes were filled with anger. Who are you? How dare you interfere in the affairs of our Heng clan? You're courting death. The experts of the Heng clan glanced at Huang Li before looking at Lu Ming and the others. Suddenly, someone's expression changed. Lu Ming. He is Lu Ming. It is true that your Heng clan is despicable and shameless. Can't you let others say it? Lu Ming said disdainfully. Lu Ming, are you sure you want to interfere in my Heng clan's matters? A quasi-emperor of the Heng clan looked coldly at Lu Ming. Scram! Lu Ming suddenly took a step forward. A violent pressure pressed down on the people of the Hung clan. The expressions of the 10-odd people of the Hung clan changed drastically. Under this pressure, they retreated continuously. They looked at Lu Ming with horror in their eyes. Lu Ming was becoming more and more terrifying. When ordinary quasi-emperors faced Lu Ming, it was as if they were facing a huge monster. They couldn't even think of resisting. Lu Ming, just you wait. A quasi-emperor of the Hung clan left behind some ruthless words and left dejectedly. Many thanks. The few people of the Lu clan thanked Lu Ming and the others. Lu Ming shook his head and didn't say anything. He left with Huang Li and the others. He understood that he could only help the Lu clan for a while. Since the Hung clan returned and wanted to annex the Lu clan definitely couldn't be saved. They continued to stroll around. However, what they saw next filled them with righteous indignation. Not only did the Hung clan return, but the He clan also returned. These two overlords of Celestial Emperor City were great emperor-level factions. They possessed incomparably strong combat strength. However, the figures of these two clans were nowhere to be seen in the previous battle. After the battle ended, the people of these two clans appeared. The key was that the Hung clan and the He clan were taking the opportunity to annex the territories of other factions. In the past, the Hung clan and the He clan were enemies. The other factions in Celestial Emperor City were also very strong. If they worked together, they could still contend against the two clans. However, after the battle with the evil god tribe, many factions in Celestial Emperor City suffered heavy losses. They were simply unable to fight against the Hung clan and the He clan. Chapter 2009. Despicable. How despicable! Huang Li couldn't help but roar. The eyes of the others were also filled with anger. Some factions wanted to resist, but they were killed immediately. Their abilities were limited, and they couldn't do anything about it. Oh no, the Wei clan is in danger. Lu Ming's expression suddenly changed. Almost all of the Wei clan's martial emperors were dead. Only a few people were left to rebuild the Wei clan. There were no experts at all. The Wei clan's residents and other resources would definitely be targeted by the Hung clan and the He clan. Wei Xian had just returned, and he would probably be in danger. Thinking of this, the others' expressions changed. Let's go to the Wei clan. Lu Ming led the way to the Wei clan, and the others followed. At this moment, the Wei clan was indeed in danger. The He clan had their eyes on this place. Bang! A Wei clan's martial emperor killed a martial emperor of the He clan with a single slash. Today, you have to agree even if you don't want to. If you don't, you'll die. A martial emperor of the He clan sneered and looked down at the remaining members of the Wei clan. There were only about 100 people left in the Wei clan, and the strongest was only a martial emperor. It was impossible for them to fight against the He clan. The He clan is despicable. In the previous battle, no one dared to fight. What kind of martial emperors are you? You're worse than shit. Wei Xian had also returned to the Wei clan. At this moment he was furious. Brat, how dare you humiliate the He clan and the martial emperor of the He clan? You'll suffer a terrible fate. I promise. A martial emperor of the He clan walked toward Wei Xian with a cold gaze. I'm from the Origin Mountain Academy. How dare you touch me? Wei Xian said. So what if you're from the Origin Mountain Academy? I'll still kill you. The martial emperor of the He clan shouted coldly and was about to kill Wei Xian. Wei Xian, go quickly. I'll stop them. A white-haired elder of the Wei clan shouted and charged toward the martial emperor of the He clan. Old dog, how dare you resist? Since that's the case, the Wei clan doesn't need to stay in this world anymore. Kill them all. A martial emperor of the He clan ordered. There were more than a dozen martial emperors and dozens of absolute saints from the He clan. Their strength was far stronger than the remaining members of the Wei clan. Bush. The strong cultivators of the Heng family moved. More than a dozen boundary emperors and dozens of absolute saints charged toward the Wei family. There were only 5 or 6 great emperors left in the Wei clan. The others were either absolute saints or below absolute saints. They couldn't fend off the He clan's attacks at all. All of a sudden, the Wei clan members were killed one after another. Screams of agony filled the air. Ugh. Watching the Wei family members being slaughtered one after another, Wei Xian roared in anger, his eyes bloodshot. In the blink of an eye, only a few quasi-emperors of the Wei clan remained, still resisting with all their might. However, their fate was already sealed when they were surrounded by more than 10 boundary emperors from the He clan. Soon, all the Wei clan quasi-emperors were killed. Of the Wei clan's people, only Wei Xian remained. This was done on purpose. Otherwise, Wei Xian would have died long ago. Your He clan will die a horrible death. Wei Xian roared furiously. His eyes were bloodshot from anger. A quasi-emperor of the He clan slapped Wei Xian in the face, sending him flying and crashing into a dilapidated wall of the Wei clan. The He clan quasi-emperor moved and appeared beside Wei Xian, stepping on him. So what if you are from the Origin Mountain Sacred Court? You are still trampled under my feet like a dead dog. This He clan quasi-emperor laughed arrogantly. You better move your feet away. Otherwise, you will die a horrible death. At this moment, an extremely cold voice came from afar. Following that, more than 10 figures appeared nearby with a flash. These people were Lu Ming and the others. Alliance Chief. Seeing Lu Ming, Wei Xian roared. His eyes were filled with hope. It's Lu Ming. Someone in the He clan recognized Lu Ming and exclaimed. The expressions of the other He clan members also changed abruptly. Lu Ming had made a name for himself in the world of the lotus flower. Even the Eternal Star River was defeated by Lu Ming. No one below Martial Emperor did not fear him. I said move your feet away. Did you not hear me? Lu Ming's eyes were cold. He glanced at the He clan quasi-emperor who was stepping on Wei Xian and walked toward him step by step. The He clan quasi-emperor had a grave expression. He said, Lu Ming, this is my He clan's matter. You better mind your own business. It seems like you want to die. Lu Ming said coldly. Just as Lu Ming's voice fell, a transparent bubble enveloped the He clan quasi-emperor. The quasi-emperor's body stiffened. Sacred power surged in Lu Ming's hand and condensed into a long spear. The long spear was covered with runes of destruction array Dao. No, stop. The He clan quasi-emperor panicked. He screamed in horror and struggled with all his might. However, it was all in vain. Lu Ming swung his hand and the long spear shot out like lightning. It pierced through the quasi-emperor's head and brought the quasi-emperor's body tens of thousands of meters away before nailing him to the ground. Don't let any of them off. Lu Ming's voice rang out. I've long wanted to make a move. Huang Li's eyes were cold as he charged toward the He clan's experts. Huang Ling, Long Chen, and the others also attacked the He clan's people. Lu Ming, you've already offended the Heng clan. It won't do you any good to offend my He clan. A He clan's expert roared. Lu Ming took a step forward and threw a punch. The fist force crushed and a quasi-emperor of the He family was torn into pieces. In Lu Ming's eyes, the He clan's people were all scum and deserved to die. Let's go. The He clan's experts roared. They knew that they were no match for Lu Ming. Their figures flickered and rushed in all directions, wanting to escape. However, before they could get far, they seemed to have crashed into an invisible wall and were all blocked. The bubble made a move and sealed the space. Lu Ming, all the experts of my He clan have returned to Celestial City. There are many Emperor-level experts nearby. If you kill us, you will die too. A He clan quasi-emperor roared. Let's end this quickly. This was Lu Ming's response. With a wave of his hand, 9 prison-suppressing monument phantoms appeared and suppressed them. One by one, the He clan's experts were killed. At the same time, the bubble and the others also made a move. It was a complete suppression. In the blink of an eye, only a few of the He clan's experts were left. Lu Ming, we have already sent out the news. You will die without a doubt. The last He clan quasi-emperor roared before he was killed by Lu Ming with a punch. Let's go back to the Origin Mountain Academy. Lu Ming waved his hand and his saint power surged. He swept up Wei Xian and flew toward the Origin Mountain Academy at the fastest speed. Not long after they left, several figures appeared in the sky above the Wei clan, exuding an incomparably powerful aura. These figures were all martial emperors. Obviously, they were all experts of the He clan. Lu Ming, you're courting death. Report this. This time, we must kill Lu Ming. Chapter 2010. Many places in the Origin Mountain's sacred courtyard were almost restored, but some cultivation grounds were not yet restored. Now, there were very few geniuses in the Origin Mountain's sacred courtyard. Most of them had returned to their respective forces. Only a few geniuses and the teachers of the Origin Mountain's sacred courtyard were still there. Of course, because of the previous massacre of the evil god tribe's remnants in Celestial City, many powerful experts temporarily stayed in Celestial City. For example, some experts from Phoenix Palace and Divine Elephant Sect temporarily stayed in the Origin Mountain's sacred courtyard. Lu Ming and the others returned to the mountain where they lived to treat Wei Xian's injuries. Fortunately, Wei Xian's injuries were not serious, and he recovered quickly. However, his eyes were very sad. The huge Wei clan was almost wiped out, and he was the only one left. He clan. Wei Xian clenched his fists, and his killing intent was endless. At this time, outside the Origin Mountain's sacred courtyard, a group of powerful experts arrived. These were the experts of the He clan, and the leaders were true emperors. He Gao was among them. Everyone, this is the Origin Mountain's sacred courtyard, please wait. Two teachers of the Origin Mountain's sacred courtyard appeared and blocked the experts of the He clan. Is Lu Ming in the Origin Mountain's sacred courtyard? Ask him to come out and die. He Gao said coldly. He had wanted to kill Lu Ming for a long time. Everyone, this is the Origin Mountain's sacred courtyard. No matter what grudges you have with Lu Ming, settle it outside the Origin Mountain's sacred courtyard. A teacher of the Origin Mountain's sacred courtyard said, since you don't want to ask Lu Ming to come out, then we will go in and find him. Another true emperor of the He clan said and stepped forward. Everyone, please wait. The teacher of the Origin Mountain's sacred courtyard stretched out his hand and blocked in front of him. Get lost. The He clan's true emperor blasted out a palm, and the terrifying palm force directly sent the teacher of the Origin Mountain's sacred courtyard flying and vomiting blood. The teacher of the Origin Mountain's sacred courtyard was only a void emperor, and he could not stop the other party at all. Let's go. Many experts of the He clan completely ignored the teachers of the Origin Mountain's sacred courtyard and rushed into the Origin Mountain's sacred courtyard. Their spiritual sense swept unscrupulously, and they wanted to find Lu Ming. Spread the news. The two Yuanshan Holy Courtyard teachers had ugly expressions as they spread the news. The Origin Mountain's sacred courtyard originally had 3 great emperors. Other forces did not dare to be presumptuous in the Origin Mountain's sacred courtyard. However, after the battle with the evil god tribe, 2 great emperors of the Yuan Mountain's sacred courtyard had fallen. This matter had already spread throughout the land of Yuan Mountain. Therefore, the He family dared to barge into the Origin Mountain Holy Courtyard without any scruples. At the residence of Lu Ming and the others. Suddenly, Lu Ming and the others felt a powerful spiritual sense sweep over them and stop on their bodies. The He clan is here. Lu Ming's eyes darkened, revealing a trace of cold light. She did not expect that the He clan would actually dare to search the Yuan Mountain Holy Courtyard and scrupulously. Boom, boom. In the distance, a group of experts stepped through the air, causing the void to tremble. The terrifying pressure made it difficult for Lu Ming and the others to breathe. Lu Ming and the others rushed out of the room and stood in the air. He Gao. Lu Ming saw He Gao at a glance. And He Gao's eyes also swept towards Lu Ming and the others. When he swept past Lu Ming, it was full of killing intent, but when he swept past Xiang Xiang, it was full of greed. Xiang Xiang, he must get it. Lu Ming, you killed many experts of my He clan for no reason, you must pay with your life. He Gao was the first to speak, full of cold killing intent. For no reason? What a joke. You said that a life for a life, they killed so many people of the Wei clan, they are also paying with their lives. Lu Ming sneered. How can the people of the Wei clan be compared with my He clan? He Gao retorted. Haha, This time, Lu Ming laughed crazily. His laughter was full of contempt. This made the faces of the He clan sink. Your He clan can still put yourself in such a high position. In my opinion, your He clan is not even comparable to a dog. Lu Ming mocked. What did you say? Courting death? Reckless dog. The people of the He clan were furious. You still have the face? Let me ask you, when the evil god tribe invaded, where did your He clan go? In order to protect the land of Yuan Mountain, the others risked their lives and fought a bloody battle with the evil god tribe. But your He clan was a coward, and when the battle ended, you ran out to reap the benefits. Are you still human? If you are not worse than a dog, then what are you? Lu Ming's mocking voice sounded continuously. When he thought of the various great emperors fighting to the death, and in the end, the Chaos Heaven Great Emperor and Heavenly Fire Great Emperor's lives were unknown. There were also some other forces that suffered heavy losses in the battle with the evil god tribe, and many experts died. But now, the He clan and Heng clan ran out to snatch the territories of these forces and even killed the people of these forces. At the thought of this, Lu Ming's anger burned fiercely. What nonsense are you talking about? How dare you insult my He clan? You are courting death. You have a sharp tongue, you must die today. The people of the He clan shouted one after another. Boom, boom, boom. The people of the He clan emitted a powerful aura. Lu Ming, let me tell you, no one can save you today, not even Great Emperor Wuxia. Also, this old man will help you take care of your disciple Xiang. He Gao transmitted his voice to Lu Ming. Old dog. Lu Ming's eyes were filled with endless killing intent. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. At this moment, on the nearby mountain peak, several figures flew over and landed in front of Lu Ming and the others. Their bodies also emitted powerful auras. There were void emperors, true emperors and all. These experts came from the Phoenix Palace, Divine Elephant Sect, Divine Origin Empire, and other forces. They had just wiped out the evil god tribe and temporarily stayed here, not returning yet. You want to stop my He clan with just a few small forces? You overestimate yourselves. He Gao sneered. Then, several figures flashed over from afar, and all of them were terrifying experts. There were even more experts from the He clan, most of whom were martial emperors. There were also a few true emperors. The number of experts from the He clan caused the experts from the Phoenix Palace and Divine Elephant Sect to be greatly alarmed. The He clan was a great emperor-level force. They were too powerful, and had many true emperors. It was not something the likes of the Phoenix Palace and Divine Elephant Sect could compare to. Today, I will personally take Lu Ming's head. He Gao spoke and stepped forward, his powerful aura locking onto Lu Ming. The true emperors from the Phoenix Palace, Divine Elephant Sect, and Divine Origin Empire wanted to help, but they were locked onto by the He clan's aura. The moment they moved, the He clan would unleash a thunderous attack. Lu Ming's expression turned solemn. He was locked onto by He Gao's aura, and he could not move at all. A true emperor was too strong, and he was not someone he could fight against. Lu Ming narrowed his eyes, and a sharp light flashed in them. He was considering whether or not to take control of the Heaven Emperor's body. Let's see how you kill him. Chapter 2011. A figure landed in front of Lu Ming and cut off He Gao's aura, relieving the pressure on Lu Ming. Senior Bing Mu. Lu Ming's eyes flashed. That figure was actually Qiu Yu's master, Bing Mu. If you want to fight, I'll kill you too. He Gao was incomparably domineering. His palm was like a blade, slashing down at Bing Mu, wanting to kill him. Ice Seal. Bing Mu pointed with his finger. Suddenly, with Bing Mu's finger as the center, endless ice spread out, as if it could freeze everything. The temperature of the world plummeted. A terrifying cold chi not only froze He Gao's saber light, but it also extended towards He Gao. Break for me! He Gao roared out. His world energy erupted as a terrifying power blasted towards the icy chi. However, wherever the cold chi passed, even the world energy of the ice curtain was frozen. The terrifying cold chi enveloped He Gao. In the blink of an eye, an ice mountain appeared in the air, and He Gao was frozen inside. Just one move was enough to freeze a true emperor. This was quite shocking. One could see He Gao's shocked expression through the iceberg. He didn't expect to be frozen by Bing Mu in one move. Attack together. A true emperor from the He clan roared and attacked the iceberg together. Boom! The iceberg exploded and He Gao retreated frantically. His face was pale and his body was covered in a layer of frost. She's strong. Attack together and kill her. He Gao roared and channeled his world energy to expel the frost from his body. Meanwhile, the true emperors from the He clan attacked Bing Mu together. The combined attack of several emperors was frightening, but Bing Mu wasn't afraid at all. He pointed with his finger and an icy energy spread out, stopping all of the attacks from the He clan. So strong. Lu Ming was also secretly shocked. Ice Screen's ability was indeed very powerful. The true emperors from the He clan weren't ordinary, but Bing Mu was still able to stop them all. No wonder why Bing Mu dared to attack Daluo Heaven Sect alone. Ordinary true emperors wouldn't dare to do so. After dozens of moves, the He clan's true emperors couldn't do anything to Bing Mu. They retreated with an ugly expression. You're Bing Mu from Seoul Sacred Palace. Someone from the He clan recognized Bing Mu and said seriously. That's right. Bing Mu didn't deny it. Bing Mu, are you sure you want to oppose our He clan? It's not good for Seoul Sacred Palace. He Gao said coldly. The He clan is still an imperial power, yet you're mobilizing so many experts just because some quasi-emperors can't defeat a few juniors. Don't you think it's embarrassing? Bing Mu mocked. The He clan's expression turned ugly. Indeed, they were a dignified emperor-level force. However, some of the older quasi-emperors were no match for Lu Ming, a junior. Therefore, the He family mobilized so many people and sent so many martial emperors to deal with Lu Ming. Do you think that my He clan mobilized so many experts and mobilized so many people just because of this matter? One of the He clan's true emperors said. Many people's expressions changed. Could it be that the He clan came here for some other reason? Lu Ming pretended to be someone from the He clan and hunted down the Heng clan's disciples. Later on, he pretended to be someone from the Hung clan and hunted down our disciples, instigating a war between the two clans. In the end, our clan suffered great losses and deserves death. One of the He clan's true emperors said coldly. What? Many people were shocked. Such a thing actually happened? Many had heard of the war between the two clans. The reason was that the He clan's true emperor, He Gao, had taken a treasure from the Heng clan. The Hung clan was indignant and sent experts to hunt down the He clan's disciples. The He clan retaliated by sending experts to hunt down the Heng clan's disciples. Because of this, the conflict between the two sides escalated. Could it be that Lu Ming was behind this? Lu Ming had mastered the law of chaos. Apart from the law of kings and the strongest law, he could transform everything else. In that case, it was really possible. Everyone's eyes fell on Lu Ming. If this was true, then Lu Ming's means were really shocking. With his own strength, he caused two emperor-level forces to suffer heavy casualties. Lu Ming narrowed his eyes but didn't say anything. He knew that this matter couldn't be hidden for much longer. Back then, the two clans fought because of the deep conflict between them. It was like gunpowder that could be ignited at the slightest spark. However, once both sides calmed down and thought about it carefully, they would find many loopholes and easily link it to Lu Ming. Lu Ming, you don't need to deny it. We've carefully analyzed it and talked to the Heng clan. You're definitely behind this. One of the He clan's true emperors said. That's right, I did it. Lu Ming said. Since they had guessed it, there was no need to deny it. Little animal, you deserve to die 10,000 times. He Gao screamed, wanting nothing more than to tear Lu Ming to pieces. Lu Ming actually used his matter to start a war between the two clans. How hateful! That's right, he deserves to die 10,000 times. At this time, a cold voice came from the sky. Then, another group of experts descended. The Heng clan. Bing Mu said solemnly. The Heng clan is here too. Huang Ling, Long Chen, Ouyang Wushuang and the others had ugly expressions. After the He clan, the Heng clan also arrived. Moreover, The experts from the Heng clan weren't any weaker than the He clan. How were they going to fight? Lu Ming was the only one who looked calm. Lu Ming, how dare you sow discord and cause great losses to the Heng clan? You deserve to die 10,000 times. Hand over the Heavenly Emperor's sword and we'll leave your corpse intact. One of the Heng clan's true emperors said coldly. Another bunch of cowards who are worse than pigs and dogs. Lu Ming said indifferently. Some people were shocked. In the face of such a situation, Lu Ming actually dared to criticize the Heng family. He was really bold. The experts from the Heng clan were all furious. Lu Ming, you'll suffer a fate worse than death. You'll pay a heavy price for your words. One of the Heng clan's true emperors said coldly. You're so easily angered. It seems like you all know how despicable you are but refuse to admit it. Once others pointed out, you use force to suppress others to hide your despicableness and shamelessness. You're just deceiving yourselves. Despicable is despicable. Lu Ming said indifferently. His voice reverberated throughout the area. The He clan and Heng clan's faces were extremely ugly. When others were fighting against the evil god tribe, they went into hiding. After that, they came out to snatch other people's territory. They knew in their hearts whether they were despicable or not. However, they would never admit it and forbid others from saying it. Once they did, they would die. A bunch of lowly people who deceived themselves. Lu Ming's words hit the nail on the head. Chapter 2012. Well said, a group of despicable people who deceive themselves and others. A voice could be heard. The void vibrated and figures flashed. Many figures appeared beside Lu Ming and the rest. They were the teachers of Yuan Mountain Saint Courtyard. The teachers of Yuan Mountain Saint Courtyard included void emperors and true emperors. Boom! The aura of the teachers of Yuan Mountain Saint Courtyard clashed with the aura of many experts of Heng clan, causing a terrible collision and rumbling sound in the air. The commotion here was too shocking. It spread far and wide. Outside Yuan Mountain Saint Courtyard, many people felt the pressure like a mountain. One after another rose into the air and looked at this side. The experts of He clan and Heng clan are confronting Yuan Mountain Saint Courtyard. It seems like it's because of Lu Ming. He clan and Heng clan, they are really shameless. Now they come out and dare to attack Yuan Mountain Saint Courtyard. It's nothing more than bullying the death of two great emperors of Yuan Mountain Saint Courtyard and the injury of Wuxia Great Emperor. Many people were extremely unhappy with He clan and Heng clan, but their voices were very low, for fear of being heard by the experts of the two clans. So what if they were unhappy? He clan and Heng clan were great emperor-level forces. With great emperors in charge, the number of true emperors and void emperors was even more. Today it's really lively. At this time, a voice came from afar, and then everyone saw a rainbow light, like a divine sword, cut through the void and flew toward Yuan Mountain Saint Courtyard. Within each streak of rainbow light was a powerhouse. Their auras were incomparably shocking. So strong, so many martial emperors. Someone exclaimed with a dignified face. When the rainbow light converged, a group of experts arrived at Yuan Mountain Saint Courtyard, faintly forming a triangle with He clan and Heng clan, surrounding Lu Ming and others in the middle. Daluo Heaven Sect. Someone exclaimed and took a breath of cold air. The people of Daluo Heaven Sect also came, another great emperor-level force. Your Daluo Heaven Sect also wants to join in the fun? A teacher of Yuan Mountain Saint Courtyard said. It's none of your business. We came today to kill Lu Ming. He killed our Daluo Heaven Sect's King Physique. He must die. A true emperor of Daluo Heaven Sect said coldly. The King Physique he mentioned was naturally referring to Luo Pokong. On Lu Ming's side, the expressions of many people became even more unsightly. The Heng family, the He family, and the Daluo Heaven Sect were all great emperor-level forces. Each of them was extremely powerful and had a deep foundation. Each one of them was extremely terrifying. Now, the three forces had joined forces to kill Lu Ming. Although Lu Ming also had some experts on his side, in addition to the teachers of Yuanshan Holy Courtyard, It was impossible for them to fight against the three major forces. The disparity in strength was too great. If they fought, they would probably be wiped out. Today, since Lu Ming is in my Yuanshan Holy Court, my Yuanshan Holy Court must protect him. A teacher of Yuanshan Holy Academy said. Then let's destroy the Yuanshan Holy Academy as well. A true emperor from the Hung clan said with murderous intent. Today, the arrival of the three major powers gave them confidence. Even if the Origin Mountain Sacred Academy was at its peak, with three great sovereigns present, they wouldn't be afraid, let alone now, only great sovereign Wuxia was left. The people watching from afar were shocked. Since Yuanshan's Sacred Academy wanted to interfere, they even wanted to destroy Yuanshan's Sacred Academy. What's the point of talking so much with them? Just destroy them. He Gao shouted, provoking everyone to attack. Suddenly, the experts of the He clan, Heng clan, and Daoyuo Heaven sect were filled with power and murderous intent, ready to launch a thunderous attack. Get ready to fight. A true emperor from Yuanshan Holy Court roared. The experts on Lu Ming's side took out their imperial weapons, ready to fight. At that instant, a strong pressure filled the air. In the face of this pressure, even the true emperor's faces changed drastically, as if a great disaster was about to befall them. High in the sky, the void cracked, and a figure appeared out of thin air. Great Sovereign Wuxia. Someone said with a dignified face. This figure was Great Sovereign Wuxia. This is Yuanshan Holy Court, I won't let you touch Lu Ming, all of you back off. Great Sovereign Wuxia said with a gentle voice, not overbearing, but there was a supreme majesty that made people dare not refute. Wuxia, I'm afraid you can't protect him today. As soon as Great Sovereign Wuxia's voice fell, a majestic voice was heard. Suddenly, a figure appeared in the sky, shrouded in endless light, but many people could still recognize who it was. It was the great sovereign of Heng clan. Today, the three martial monarch factions had indeed come prepared. Now, the great sovereign had come in person. No one can save him for killing our Daoyuo Heaven sect's imperial physique. Then, another voice was heard. This voice was cold and overbearing, filled with murderous intent. In another direction, another figure appeared, shrouded in endless black light. His figure was vague, but his aura was strong and earth-shattering. The great sovereign of Daoyuo Heaven sect. The great sovereign of Daoyuo Heaven sect was called Great Sovereign Tianluo. Two great sovereigns appeared, their auras were extremely powerful, like two eternal universes, floating in the sky, giving people a strong pressure. It's over, Lu Ming is finished today, there is only one great sovereign in Yuanshan Holy Court, he can't protect Lu Ming at all. That's right, there are still great sovereigns in He clan, even if the three great sovereigns of Yuanshan Holy Court are here, Lu Ming is in danger today. Lu Ming is finished today, he is going to die. It's a pity for such an outstanding talent. In the distance, many people sighed. At this moment, many people were on Lu Ming's side, because He clan, Heng clan, and Daoyuo Heaven sect were too despicable, they didn't appear during the battle with Evil God clan. Of course, they supported Lu Ming, but no one would really help Lu Ming, it was undoubtedly courting death. It was a pity. Then I will kill you first. Just after Great Sovereign Tianluo appeared, another voice was heard, and then, a terrifying sword light shone. This sword light was too dazzling, it came from the sky, splitting the whole sky into two halves. Great Sovereign Tianluo's face changed, he shouted angrily, endless light rushed up, he waved his hand, and an incomparably mysterious aura filled the air. That was the aura of Great Tao. The Great Sovereign controlled the Great Tao of heaven and earth. Boom! A big seal floated out. It was very similar to Luo Zhangxiong's divine seal of deprivation, but it was many times more powerful than the divine seal of deprivation. The big seal flew out and bombarded with the dazzling sword light. At this moment, the dazzling light was so dazzling that many people couldn't open their eyes. When the light disappeared, an old man appeared in front of Great Sovereign Tianluo. It was a very old man, leaning on a walking stick, like an ordinary old man. Uncle Kong. Lu Ming's heart moved, it seemed that Uncle Kong had been paying attention to him. At this time, When Lu Ming was in danger, Uncle Kong still stood up. Who is this person? Could it be that the sword light just now was slashed by him? So terrifying, he is also a great sovereign, but I have never heard of him. It seems that he came to help Lu Ming. There is actually a great sovereign expert behind Lu Ming. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Immortal Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.